hockey gear. The coolest equipment in the game.
If you're like most guys, you probably don't have a clue what conditioners do for hair.
Got me.
But what if I told you they help hair lay right, stay in place, smooth flyaways?
Conditioners do that?
That's right. And there's no better time to see for yourself than now. With new Perk Plus shampoo and conditioner in one, reformulated with some of the most advanced cleaners and conditioners out there, for much more manageable hair than regular shampoo with no more work. So what do you think?
You know, I think I could get used to this.
New Perk Plus. Great hair, no fuss.
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Bud Ice, the official beer sponsor of the NHL. By Dodge, the more things change, the more things look like the new Dodge. And by McDonald's. Have you had your break today?
Welcome back, everybody, to the Meadowlands Arena. A full house. The Flyers a chance to even this series if they can get the victory here today. Eric Lindros thus far in the 3 games has picked up 2 goals and an assist, playing at even and chopping down trees.
That's how he finished just the national anthem. He's the last guy to go and hit Ron Hextall 8 times in the pads.
Now we've got line changes all over the place here for the Devils. Stephane Richer is a very late scratch. He came out, took his regular warm-up with his regular line with he and Claude Lemieux and Bobby Carpenter. Carpenter now will have a change-up on his line. Broughton is out there with Brian Ralston, who's playing for the first time against the Flyers. Ralston out on one of the wings. Bruce Driver is also out of the game. You've got Chambers and Tommy Abel in the first matchup here. And we will see as the other defenseman in this game, Kevin Dean, he'll be playing in his first game in the playoffs. Brendamore trying to move it in. Tommy Avalon tried to take it away, could not. On the near side, Brendamore back to the point. Did it come outside the zone? Yes, it did. That'll get an early whistle. Here are the scratches that really matter today, Bill.
Gary, Jacques Lemaire said before the playoffs started, when he was asked what the key is to winning the Stanley Cup and to going a long way in the playoffs, you know what he said? Staying healthy. That was the #1 thing he said your team has to do to make it. And Richer and Driver are both out. Let's check in with Al Morganti.
Well, Gary, no official word on Richer. The Flyers think he's injured, obviously, and he did have ice on his left shoulder all morning. So it would appear to be, of course, and there's always a secret in playoffs with injuries, would appear to be a shoulder with Richer.
And he has a bad back, too, Al, that acts up on and off on him. And as you say, in the playoffs, nobody wants to tell anything. They'll put the ice pack in exactly the opposite place just to mislead people. But anyway, he's out of there. Eric Lindros' line is out there now. John McLean's line out to Matthew. McLean going behind the net. Hextall there first. So it's Lemieux, Carpenter, and McLean on this line. McLean moving up to take Richer's place with Carpenter and Lemieux. Lemieux will send it in. Behind the net, Ron Hextall, Ian-Martin Brodeur between the pipes today. Tipped away along the boards by Renberg, not out, held into Stevens. His shot deflected out in front. Did not end up on net. Therrien blocked it. Quickly up ice, Renberg. Batted away from him to center. Lindros will come back to get it. Philadelphia's Lindros jammed by 3 Devils on that one. Danico's lost his stick, and we've got a whistle and an early penalty. First penalty is going to be an interference call here. And Eric Lindros, the man who created it, was trying to come across the blue line and got jammed up.
Boy, did he ever. He had somebody hooking him. Kenny Danico stepped up and was attempting to do the old roadkill thing. He missed Eric Lindros, went by him, and Danico lost his stick in the play, but I don't know which one of them Terry Grayson called.
John McLean's going to go, Bill.
It had to, was it away from the play?
John McLean, 2 minutes for interference on the goaltender.
Oh, gosh, that happened a long time ago.
Way back here.
Way back at the other end.
Those calls are made. It'll have a big impact on this game.
Well, the impact now, John McLean with a different center, all of the lines, and we're having to track them for you as we go because the Devils warmed up with their regular line formations, but when Richer was scratched, everything now is a jumble for them.
Power play to Lindros. Philadelphia with a power play opportunity right here. Dumped in behind the net. Anatoly Semenov working behind the net. Lindros in the bouncing puck. Broughton all over him. Lindros, good job to hold it in. So Lindros double shifting here. Stays out in this so-called second power play unit. Broughton clears.
And it looks like the Flyers are going to use a different power play configuration already. Other than what they've used in the playoffs, Eric Lindros looks like he's back to the half boards on the left side the way he was during the season.
You see their numbers. They've only had 1 power play goal here. Shot back in, taken away by Niedermeyer, and cleared out of the zone. The New Jersey Devils have killed off 22 of the last 23 power play chances that the opposition's had. Philadelphia on the power play early in this game. 1:14 left on the power play chance. Dumped off by Semenoff to Brendan Moore. Intercepted and cleared out of the zone by Tommy Avila. In the playoffs, the Flyers are 12th among the 16 playoff teams in power play effectiveness. The New Jersey Devils second best in killing them off. The Devils have only given up 4 power play goals in the entire 3 rounds. Hextall at the side of the net leaves it there. Swoboda will come back to get it. 49 left on this Flyer power play. Now they will bring out Renberg to join Lindros and Leclerc on this line. The Legion of Doom line out. Good hit by Stevens. Another good hit on Leclerc. Backed up to the point, near side for Swoboda. Vita Swoboda looking. Desjardins in the middle. Gunned it in, trying to hit Lindros at the high slot. Played by Leclerc behind the net for Renberg. Chasing it down, Tom Chorski lost control of it there. Cleared out of the zone finally by Stevens. And 20 seconds remaining on this Philadelphia power play chance. The power play has been a real bugaboo for the Flyers. It has hurt them a lot. They've had early chances in games to jump out. They can't get it working. In the playoffs, when it's not working, it's danger. Yep, the visible goal for the Flyers, what they're trying to do is simply get the puck through to the net. Desjardins tried it a moment ago and didn't get it through. They just got to get it through to the net. Power plays over, centered right into the crease by Lindros. Lemieux there to knock it away. Devils full strength. John McLean out of the box. Swoboda does not have his stick. Hextall forced to play it. Swoboda was the closest defenseman to John McLean. You know what happened? McLean came out of the box and he picked Swoboda, didn't get called for interference, knocked the stick out of Swoboda's hand, and then headed down the ice. If he controls that, he's got a breakaway. A lot of hitting going on behind the play. Lemieux and Sean Podine were into it pretty good. Lemieux's chatting away out there as the official, Terry Gregson, wanted a call, didn't get it. Here's a knockdown by Terrien, gets it away. Back comes Uline. Uline, Podine, and McTavish on this line. Uline shot, saved by Brodeur. And McTavish had him screened, and good play by Brodeur. Back up the Devils, near side. Here's Billy Guerin alone. Devils changing. Guerin, wide side, missed it. Breland comes out with Zelepukin to join Guerin on this line as Jacques Lemaire will juggle for game 4. No score, Pittsburgh.
Don't you just love hockey? What's not to love? You get the wicked slap shots, the bone-jarring hits, the phenomenal saves. And don't forget the ice. Bud Ice and 96-calorie Bud Ice Light, the official beer sponsors of the NHL. So grab a bottle of Bud Ice, or if you prefer, try it from a cup.
Deep beneath the Gotham City McDonald's, the time has come for the Gotham Glassware Collection. Get all your favorite characters from the movie Batman Forever, including Batman himself and the Riddler, chiseled in high-quality glass. Take a break at McDonald's and collect all 4. Just 99 cents each when you buy any McDonald's Extra Value Meal or any other food purchase.
Here you are, sir. Batman.
Now I've got him!
Well, the Flyers know they're going to get a certain percentage of offense from the Legion of Doom, but boy, they are keeping their fingers crossed that the line that number 12 is on. Patrick Uline can provide some offense. They're classified as the Flyers' third line. Terrific move here by Uline on a stop and go. And Brodeur with a good save early in the game. The Flyers have pressed the Devils here early. Ron Hextall had one zip wide of him that Billy Guerin shot, but other than that, the Flyers have really come to play. And Gary, the warm-ups, I don't think I've ever seen 2 teams set as fast a pace in the warm-up as I saw this afternoon. Man, they came out of the doors like they were shot out of cannons.
Both teams know how vitally important this game is. Of course, it's true for all of them. The Flyers said last game, we got to win. We can't go down 3-0. Here's a chance, though, for the Flyers to get this thing evened up. And they're all important when it's the best of 7. Batted away along the boards to John McLean. Clears it out. We've still not seen the crash line out there. Lemieux's come out again because Lindros came out. Jacques Lemaire. Here's Renberg again. Shot, save, Brodeur. Lemaire had sent the crash line out during that last break. Murray came back and sent Lindros out. When he did, Jacques Lemaire sent out Lemieux again, who's been on every shift in that last game with Lindros out there. Penalty coming. It'll be on the Flyers for tripping. John McLean got dumped, and we'll have a power play opportunity coming up for the Devils. Terry Gregson making the calls. Leclerc and Danico had to be separated by the linesmen. Kevin Collins, Gerard Gauthier are the linesmen for today's game.
Boy, John McLean got airborne on this one. He wanted to make sure Terry Gregson saw it.
2 minutes with tripping.
Kevin Haller turned it over at the blue line, so he had to get a piece of John McClain. What did he do?
Philadelphia's number 5, Kevin Haller.
I give him a 9.4 on that one, and it worked. At this stage of the hockey season, when he gets to the bench, you give him the big pat on the back and say, way to go, John McClain.
I gave him a 9.8. I really thought that was an exceptional.
Oh, there was a big splash when he entered.
Is that what it was? He didn't go in cleanly?
Right.
Well, they're going to start doing this, and Terry Gregson's going to call him. We'll see more of it.
A lot of it.
Kevin Haller goes. Power play opportunity here. You see the power play for the Devils. Third best in the playoffs. The Flyers penalty killing 10th in the playoffs. No score. 5.5 minutes into period number 1 of game 4. Zalapukin. Niedermeyer stepped up, held it in. His shot. Save. Hextall with Breland on the doorstep.
Whoa. Baby, did Breland get hit from behind by Eric Desjardins and then whacked.
Big games, big hits, intense eyes.
That's the one area where the Flyers are a little short of poundage is on defense. Peter Svoboda and Kevin Haller have done a good job in this series of competing against bigger men. Ron Hextall's numbers in the playoffs.
Well, we got to congratulate as we take a look at Martin Brodeur. He and his fiancée Melanie, the baby boy Anthony Vaughn, born on the day off and actually claimed that way. What happened?
Nice to have 2 days off because he got no sleep at all after the game on Wednesday night.
Devils on the power play here. Niedermeyer's shot deflected out deep. Zalapukin had Hextall down but dished it off. Chambers to Niedermeyer. Back over to Chambers. Chambers, Niedermeyer again. A lot of pushing and shoving in front. Hextall's got the stick in Billy Guerin's back as Guerin kind of snuck into the top of the crease on him there. Here's Niedermeyer at the top to Breland. Breland bounced it off, intercepted McTavish out of the zone.
Boy, the fans are restless here. The Devils had a number of chances to shoot. They tried to fine-tune it. I think early in a game, you got to go with some basic stuff.
Rotten trying to do that, had it deflected into the seats. Dykhouse got a piece of that one. Took the Devils a little over 5 minutes to get their first shot in this game, and it came on the power play chance.
Now, the Devils' power play numbers in this series are a little misleading. Coming into today's game, they are 3 for 13, but they got all 3 goals in one game. That was game 2 in Philadelphia. Here are the Devils right here with the one shot that they tried from the point. Peter Svoboda. See on number 23 for the Flyers moved up in front of the guy in front. When you weigh 175 pounds, you've got to move in front of him and make sure you get the puck because you're not going to move the man. You're just not strong enough.
No score here. Power play has 58 seconds remaining on it for the New Jersey Devils. Devils power play, as we've mentioned before, during the regular season, did virtually nothing. 23rd in the league. But here in the playoffs, it has blossomed and been a very important part of their outstanding record. Devils coming in 10-3 in the playoffs this year. Shot on Hextall. Save made. Out in front, a big jam up intended for McKay. Blocked away, short-handed Brendamore. Brendamore looking. He's got a 2-on-1 chance. Brendamore tried to get it over to Montgomery. Too late. Brendamore and Montgomery were racing down ice in a 2-on-1 short-handed. Power play still for the Devils. Randy McKay. McKay dropped it back from McLean. Knocked away by Montgomery to Brendamore. And Brendamore rags it a bit. Ragging it back, decides better, and sends it in. Brodeur back to get it. 10 seconds left on the New Jersey power play. No score. Each team with a couple of shots on net. Each team's had a power play. Here's Breland moving in. Breland dumps it around wide side. Power play over. Eric Lindros out on the ice. In the near side, Renberg. Renberg moving it in. 2D back. Danico on him. Renberg centered. Lindros was cutting. Comes back to the line and outside the zone. Knocked away by Lemieux. Then he got tied up. And McLean will have to flip it in. Devils change it. So each team 0 for 1 on the power play, and we remain scoreless. With 12:28 left to go. Couple of penalties. Very little else except some good hockey here. Very few whistles early on. Lindros tried to knock it down. Renberg to help. Renberg. Cross ice tipped wide. LeClaire. LeClaire was set up in front. Lindros's pass goes by everybody.
Gary, this pace is a Flyers pace. It is not a Devils pace.
The Flyers aren't even looking at a trap because the Devils haven't had time to set it up.
Not only that, there have been some special teams work, and not only that, all of the line combinations are now juggled for the Devils, and the trap is the same, but guys get used to reading off of one another on those trap setups.
And that's why it takes so long sometimes for a team to become effective using the trap. The guys on the ice do have to know where the other personnel are going to be. Ken Danico sends it in. Hextall back to get it. Terry in there. No score here in the first. Near side, Jim Montgomery playing in his second game in this series and his 5th of the playoffs. Knocked down by Brodeur. He had DeMaio moving in. DeMaio took a shot in the head off Brodeur's stick. DeMaio's joining the play from behind. There's no penalty here. Dropped back in by Terry. And Demaio's headed to the bench. He caught Brodeur's stick as Brodeur was clearing it to the corner, right across the face. Up to the near side, Bobby Holik. Crash line out there now. Holik, McKay, and Peluso. Mike Peluso intended. Therrien batted it off the boards. Montgomery's there and flips it in. Brodeur at the other end will leave it. Niedermeyer back. The crash line, the only line not changed. Niedermeyer's teamed up with Kevin Dean now, the youngster in his first NHL playoff game. He played on the championship team in the American Hockey League this season and called up after their season was over to join the big club. McKay moving up. Peluso. McTavish going at it. Separated by Kevin Collins, the linesman. Taken by Desjardins. Desjardins back in his own end. What a pace. Sean Podine off his skate. McTavish through the middle. Tried to dump it in. Niedermeyer was there to Bobby Holik. Bobby Holik moving it up. Holik the blue line shot blocked out deep. Flipped away. Good play by Sean Podine. Up ice, Julien and McTavish. McTavish racing in. Tommy Avalon beating to the puck. Both teams changing it up on the fly. Flyers getting 3 back. They just came off the bench. Zelapukin ridden to the corner by Kevin Haller. Pass bounced in the middle away from Guerin. Picked up by Niedermeyer. His shot blocked by Brendamore. Vreeland chasing down. Kevin Haller beat him there. Kicks it up for Brendamore. Brendamore looking back to the middle. He got a man open. Julien can't get it to him. Julien had cut through at the blue line. Couldn't get the pass up. Niedermeyer takes it behind his own net. 9:59 to go. Ferocious first period. No score. Billy Guerin sends it in. Guerin having an excellent playoff season, including a couple of goals in this series against the Flyers. Both came in one game in Philadelphia. Intercepted by Chambers. Penalty coming up, delayed call. Ripping call coming.
Boy, bodies are flying everywhere, and both coaches are using their entire benches. Rob DeMaio, though, is left to get repairs. He took a stick to the face.
To the designers of the new Dodge Stratus, performance isn't just how a car handles, but what it handles. So along with a rigid frame and modified double wishbone suspension for control, they also developed the biggest trunk in its class. So Stratus isn't just a great driver's car, it's a great packer's car. New Dodge Stratus. It's full of answers. Get 1.9% financing, or lease Dodge Stratus for $199 a month.
It's coming. To take cold, to take taste, to take smooth, to the extreme. Introducing Bud Ice, now brewed to go beyond the others, to be an easier drinking ice. Take smooth to the extreme. Bud Ice.
Now, Claude Lemieux is going to try and bull his way by the Flyers. He doesn't have Richer on the other wing the way he's had in the playoffs. John LeClair took him, and did he ever pay for it? Claude Lemieux got the stick right up under his chin. And Craig McTavish had a rough go with Mike Peluso. Check this out. McTavish did not give any ground at all, but ended up paying for it because at the end of this, a little shot in the face, and Craig McTavish is cut as well as Rob DeMaio. DeMaio's gone for repairs. I don't know if McTavish is on the bench or if he's left yet either.
On to Hextall on a power play here as Broughton's gone for tripping at 10:18. Broughton out, second power play of the game for Philadelphia. Flyers, Devils, no score in game 4. Power play chance, Renberg got Lindros in front. Stevens leveled him. Back up to the point. Desjardins to Swoboda to Desjardins. Jamming in front of the net. Peter Swoboda at the point. Desjardins. Devils coming out to play the puck, forcing the action. That's Bobby Carpenter out there in the short-handed unit up top. They got Lindros down low. Lindros and LeClair both set up in front. Renberg now caught up along the point. There's Renberg. What a battle in front. Shot save made. Brodeur off Renberg. Danico tries to clear. Renberg held it in. Peter Swoboda back to Lindros. LeClair. Solid shot. That one bounced off the crossbar. Brodeur lost his stick. Brodeur does not have his stick. Goes to pick it up. Gets back in net. Renberg. Wide side Swoboda. Swoboda back on top. Desjardins. Desjardins for the screen. Shot deflected wide. At LeClair in front. LeClair wraparound block. Brodeur could not bring it into the body. John McLean gets it and sends it out.
Boy, is that a more confident power play or what? With Eric Lindros now being the half-boards guy and John LeClair moving from the half-boards to the trenches in front, the Flyers all of a sudden look like they got a brand new power play, but this is what they used during the regular season that worked so well.
Intercepted by Niedermeyer. 30 left on this Philadelphia power play. Philadelphia thus far 0 for 1 in this game. Did not convert on 3 chances in the last one. Brought up by Dykhouse. Carl Dykhouse working a point to Brendamore. Brendamore brings it in himself for Dineen. Kevin Dineen in the corner colliding with Dean. Intercepted Brendamore. Up along the boards. Down went Dykhouse. Short-handed. Intercepted by Yuskevich. Would have been a 3-on-1 short-handed. Dean trying to push it out of the zone. Niedermeyer down to Lemieux. Penalty is over. Devils full strength. 3-on-3. Lemieux shot. Hextall save. Rebound loose. Couldn't back it in. Broughton. Samanoff put the hit on behind the net on Chorsky. Broughton down. Up. Center. Tipped wide on Hextall. Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer looking to the middle. Broughton behind the net. Centering pass back to Tommy Avalon. Avalon through a screen. Hextall save. Rebound back to Tommy Avalon who holds it in. Full strength, both teams. Broughton couldn't get it. Dykhouse wants to clear. Dodged by Tommy Avalon. Both teams need a line change here. A furious pace in the first period.
Gary, it's a 7th game pace. No question about it. I think these teams might feel the same way, that the winner today is going to win the series.
Certainly momentum will be decided for the next game in this one, no matter what's happened before. Chambers starts it up. 6:50 to go in the first. No score. Breland dropped it. Zalapukin shot wide on the short side. Chambers back of the blue line. Chambers having to play in his off-wing side, if you will, in that defensive point. Zalapukin back to get it for Breland. Shot deflected wide. Did not end up on Hextall. Tommy Avalon shot deflected in. Save made. Billy Guerin tipped that in on Hextall, who had it covered along the ice. Furious action in the corner. Stepping up, holding it in. Chambers comes back to Chambers, who lost it. Devils had Breland back covering. Uline hit by Breland. Good job by Breland, who got back to cover on the point.
Yeah, especially backing up as a defenseman. I mean, it's a lot different when you're defending backwards as opposed to frontwards.
Guerin just got leveled by Antoski. Chambers collides with Yuskevich. Uline picks it up behind the net. His pass blocked back to him. McTavish picks it up. Craig McTavish coming. What a pace. Here's moved in by Therrien. Therrien got hit by Chambers and knocked down. Bobby Holik moves it up. McKay in the middle. Holik around Yuskevich, who hung on to him, and a penalty coming on Dmitry Yuskevich. Peluso the elbow up on Therrien. That draws Podine's ire. Let's see if there's going to be more than one.
Woo! Man, what a pace. There must have been 10 bell hits already. Look at that whack on Leclerc by Scott Stevens. Man.
Tired of watching your weight? If you had a GMC Safari, you wouldn't have to. Safari tows up to 5,500 pounds. Plus, Safari gives you available seating for 8, standard 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, and right now, get a Safari for just $289 a month for 33 months with $1,805 down. So if you'd like to put on a few pounds unnoticed, get a GMC Safari. Because when it comes to towing, we're the experts. See your Tri-State GMC truck dealer today.
Ron Hextall is picking up where he left off in overtime 3 nights ago. A terrific save on a wraparound. And watch this deflection save. Billy Guerin was out in front, deflected it to Ron Hextall, made it look easy.
Therrien has drawn the elbow and call at 14-15. New Jersey's on the power play for the second time in this game. The Devils get the power play chance. We are scoreless. 5:36 left here in the first period. Shot 7-6 in favor of the Devils. Here comes John McLean. McLean moving it in. The action here, now you know why even Superman watches our coverage. Dean, save made by Hextall. But Christopher Reeves get well in a hurry. He's in the hospital. Score! Dean, first game, first goal. 1-0 Devils.
Well, the Flyers will agree with this. Good things happen when you get the puck to the net. That's all that happened here. A shot that looked like it was deflected out in front that found its way between Ron Hextall's legs. Here's Ralston with the shot. No, maybe Neil Broughton didn't get it, but it found a 5-hole space under Ron Hextall. And the Devils, with a furious pace to this game, lead it 1-0. The Devils are going to, you know that the Devils want to crank this tempo down a little bit. They're leading 1-0. First goals have been big for the Devils. This is now 12 games out of 14 in the playoffs that the Devils have scored first, and they are way better with the lead.
My apologies to Brian Ralston. I thought Dean had the point on that. Ralston was out there in his third playoff game, picks up the goal, and it is a 1-0 lead. Brian Ralston putting it home on the power play. So the New Jersey Devils convert and take the 1-0 lead. Philadelphia Terriers back. They score on their 8th shot here in the first period. And teams back at full strength. Intercepted by Danico. A big goal. Give momentum back here to the Devils. Lemieux shot. Hextall the save. Iskevich in the corner. Ralston gets his first ever in the playoffs from Dean and McLean on the power play at 14:49. Hextall bats that one over the glass. 4:35 left in the first. Brian Ralston on the power play goal has given the Devils the 1-0 lead as their power play continues to be enormous in their chase for the Stanley Cup.
Over the past 3 years, Dodge has offered a choice of more new nameplates than anybody else. Here are 3 more new choices that make it easier for you to drive the best-selling Dodge Caravan. Like cash savings and values to $2,360 for current owners, or an interest rate as low as 4.9%. Or choose a great Caravan lease rate, the Dodge Buyer's Choice Sale. The choice is all yours. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you. $19,040 on hand here at the Brendan Byrne Arena, the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey, and a lot to cheer about early. Great first period, and the Devils get the first goal on the power play to take the 1-0 lead. Ralston getting his first point ever on the goal, and Dean in the playoffs out there in his first game got an assist on that. So a couple of the youngsters for the Devils come through for them. Driver out. Richet's out of this game. And there are the kids producing. Lemieux tried to center, had it blocked. Good play by Desjardins. A whistle behind the play as the net has come off the Morons. Take a look at our Bud Ice Stanley Cup summary in this third round of the playoff season here in '95. Detroit 7-0 at home in the playoffs, leading Chicago with a chance to wrap it up at home. Philadelphia 4 consecutive wins on the road, a team record in the playoffs. And already 17 overtime games, third most in playoff history.
And our Bud Ice replay involves, to me, what has happened to this game. It is the goal by the Devils. Brian Ralston shot right through Ron Hextall's legs. And what I'm talking about when I say what has happened to this game, you notice the pace has fallen right off since that goal. Even strength, 5-on-5. The Devils are now executing their trap. The Flyers have solved it a couple of times. But what it does, whether you solve the trap or not, it slows the tempo down.
That it does. Hextall in the shot from center by Stevens, deflected it back in behind the net. 11-6 the shots in favor of the New Jersey Devils. And a 1-0 lead. A chance for the Devils to go up 3-1. Tom Chorske batted it away. 3-on-2. Ralston again in. Ralston the shot. Hextall, where is it? Pulls it back in.
Boy. That was a turnover trying to get through the trap. The Flyers had it backfire on them.
Our Dodge intermission report upcoming in 3 minutes and 47 seconds. And we will bring you up to date on the analysis that Mike and Barry have on this game. The Devils on the move. Nashville, maybe. We'll take a look. And the French Open, of course, well underway. All coming up. Ron Hextall, 1 and 2 here in this series against the Devils with that big overtime win the Flyers picked up in the last game here in New Jersey. Hextall behind the net for Dykhouse. Dykhouse near side Peter Swoboda. Swoboda dumped out in the middle by Montgomery. Back to get it Tommy Avalon. Avalon teamed up here with Chambers. John Chambers looking for Broughton, cutting through the middle, couldn't find him. Chased back deeper into the zone. Patrick Julien was back there on the forecheck. On the wide side, Ralston for Chorsky. Hextall will glove it. Has to leave it on for Montgomery. He'll take it back in behind the net. Montgomery lost it. Save Hextall. Coming out in front. Chorsky waiting right there. Hextall with a huge save. And Toski sends it in. Chambers back. Philadelphia changing it up at the fly. Devils trying to get folks over the board as well. Chorsky moves it up. Bobby Holik cutting. Holik had it blocked by Antoski. Julien looking. Cleared it back into the middle. Dmitry Yaskevich. Yaskevich through the middle. Ran into Peluso. Got control of the puck and sent it in. Bounces off the boards for Dean. Kevin Dean picks it up. Dean moving it near side for Randy McKay. McKay. The crash line out there. Wrap around McKay. Saved by Hextall. And he hangs on with the Devils leading it 1-0.
Every year, more than 17 million cars are entrusted to the experience of Jiffy Lube. More than 17 million cars are entrusted to the experience of Jiffy Lube. And Jiffy Lube offers Pennzoil. Jiffy Lube, the world's most experienced oil changers. That's why if it doesn't say Jiffy Lube, it just isn't Jiffy Lube.
Now there's Randy McKay. We wondered whether Randy McKay would be in uniform. He got banged up on Wednesday night and apparently had to go for x-rays, but he was in uniform, obviously. Ron Hextall really respects McKay's skill level now. He is ready every time he comes down. I think McKay really showed him his skill level in the first 2 games and surprised him.
Looks like he had a bad elbow after that last game, but no damage done that would keep him out. Comes back to the point. Niedermeyer the shot. Hextall flips it away. Ends up going over the glass. Face-off will be to his right. 1-0 Devils on top. 2:13 left here in the first period. Check in with our man down below, Al Morganti.
Thanks, Gary. Well, Rob DeMaio is still out of the game, and the reason is he has a cut over on his forehead that has to be stitched up. The reason it's taken so long, well, the game's flying along, obviously, but the doctors were seated so far away, it took a long time to get the doctors down to get help to DeMaio. So when this series switches to Philadelphia, I think the Jersey doctors may be sitting in the 3rd level, guys.
Or maybe in the parking lot.
They're in the halo here. They're lucky they got there at all.
I've never seen a team get cut as much as the Flyers have, really, in the playoffs since I've been watching them. There was one game in the Rangers series where the doctors, they told me after the game they ran out of thread. Well, I'm serious. They had to borrow suture kits from the Rangers.
Amazing stuff. McTavish. That's what it's like when you're chasing the cup. John Podine cleared it out to center. Chambers back to get it. 2:05 left to go here in this first period. You see how this pace has slowed down. Sean Podine moves it in. Dropped it for McTavish. McTavish coming to the middle. McTavish out there with Lindros and Podine. Dykhouse shot. Deflected. Score! Sean Podine in front. Trickled it in underneath Brodeur. 1-1.
This is what the Flyers wanted to do in this game. They have all been talking about just getting the puck to the net. Wayne Gretzky said it best, 100% of the shots you don't take don't go in. And this was a makeshift line. This is to get Eric Lindros his double shift. He was out there with Craig McTavish and Sean Podine. See, it's not a hard shot, but look what the Flyers have in front. And you know what, Gary, from our angle, I didn't see that get over the line. I'm wondering how it got under him. Oh, did you see that moment of daylight? There was about 4 inches of daylight right under Martin Brodeur's pad, right there between his pants and his pad, and it hit it.
You couldn't do that if you tried.
Not 100 times.
Not 100 times. Game's tied at 1-1. The Flyers, as I said after the last game, we finally got a roll of the puck. They get another one here. Danico pushing away here, getting Podine out. His first career playoff goal, 1809, has tied it up. The other series in the West going on, and the Deuce will have it for you. The Western Conference Finals continue tomorrow night at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. For Detroit, a chance to wrap it up back on their home ice. On the Deuce tomorrow, Chicago and Detroit. Series 3-1 in favor of the Red Wings. Face off to the left of Brodeur. Dykhouse able to hold it into Lindros. Lindros, McTavish and Podine still out there. Lindros, Lemieux's out there as well. Lindros fought off a couple. Podine gets it back. Flyers have got to clear the zone. Sent in. Stevens comes back to get it. Stevens behind the net. McTavish gets the hook on him. Stevens keeps control of the puck and got it away to center. Intercepted Dykhouse again. Devils changing it up. Broughton just came out on the ice chasing it back. Leclerc's got it. Flyers also changing. Blue liner Leclerc offside. McTavish hadn't cleared the zone. Podine gets his first ever goal. Dykhouse and McTavish. 18:09 to tie it up at 1-1.
No, we've talked about how the Devils have to defend against Eric Lindros, like being like a pack of wolves, basically handing them off one to the other. If it's not Stevens, it's Lemieux or Bobby Carpenter. I mean, a couple of 100 pounds coming at you when he gets you off balance, going to do some damage. Watch from the left of your screen, Bobby Carpenter. Did he come in and try to take Eric Lindros? He wanted him, and he got a big part of him. And Eric hit the back of the boards. It looked like with his pants, with his pretty good padding.
1 minute left to go in the first period. Tied at 1. Chased down by Kevin Haller. Broughton on him around the boards. Desjardins up. Gorski moved over to put the hit on. Good pass to center. 2-on-1. Leclerc coming with Brendamore. Now Brendamore blocked out in front. Again, Danigo. Danigo down on the ice. Reached back and blocked the centering pass. Desjardins sends it in. Brodeur as the hop come right into the pads here. Final seconds of this first period. Tom Chorski. His pass out through center, rolls through everybody. Walston chasing it down at the other end. Touches that one up behind the net. Broughton came back to get it. Broughton tied up by Kevin Haller. Brendamore steps in to help. Brendamore, 19 to go in the period. John Leclerc back in the middle of Desjardins. Lindros with him on the right, cut to the net and a whistle offside. 13.1 left here in the first. Shot 16-7 in favor of the Devils. New-Jersey had run a 9-0 streak in shots on Philadelphia before that last one the Flyers got.
Flyers finally have a book on Martin Brodeur. He's no good on knuckleballs that he can't see. That was the goal that Rod Brind'Amour scored in Game 3. And Brodeur said, you know what, I was probably looking the wrong way. He saw the puck heading to a certain area of the ice and started looking at the area the puck was headed to and missed the deflection on the way to him, so he never did pick it up.
Brodeur now in the playoffs, the only goaltender who's played in every minute of the playoff games. Dineen getting into it with Lemieux. Collins and Gauthier move in. Only have 6.5 left here in this first period.
Well, now those two guys playing against one another would make for quite a piece of entertainment. Kevin Dineen plays a lot like Claude Lemieux. I mean, they're just whirling dervishes out there who play with everything they got. I mean, Lemieux will use his stick to do whatever he has to get from point A to point B, and Dineen is exactly the same. Lemieux's got the big reputation for it. There's the play behind as Chris Therrien went down. John McLean was leaning on him. See, Kevin Dineen actually started that one with a poke to Claude Lemieux's chops.
Neither team wanting to take the big penalty, the one that would give the other the advantage, so they back off just in time. To the left of Brodeur. Bobby Holig, Brendamore ready to take the face-off. Philly up in the face-offs 12-7 thus far. That's a difference in the first two. Lindros! That one off the blocker. Lindros canonized that one in and skipped off Brodeur's blocker. A ferocious first period. It was Ralston, his first of the playoffs, his first ever for the youngster. And Podine getting his first ever. Two unlikely goal scorers here in the first period for both of these teams. Shots end up at 16-7 in favor of the Devils, tied at 1.
Boy, I'll tell you what, the Flyers have been really good. Watch Claude Lemieux right here get picked here by John Leclerc. I mean, see Leclerc move in and hold him out. That's the assignment executed perfectly, which allowed Eric Lindros to pull the trigger. The Flyers have been dominant in this series on faceoffs. They don't have anything to show for it, but in a tight situation, that's an advantage.
We've completed one, and it's tied at 1-1. John Meikenberry.
All right, Gary and Bill, thanks a lot. 1-1 is the score after one period of play, and if you're Philadelphia, you have to be encouraged. You fell behind, but you're right back in it.
It looks just like it did the other night. Hextall gives up a soft goal. Kevin Dineen got it back. And again, today, they got it right back for Hextall. Hopefully, he'll settle down. That was by far the best hockey of this series.
Yeah, by far. Philly played very well. They deserve to be farther ahead than, or they deserve to be ahead.
Yeah, it was a very exciting first period of play, and not many of them have been in this series. When we come back, we'll look back at the first period, but right now it's time for the New Dodge Intermission Report. We'll look back at the first period of play. We'll also look at the other series in the West and some baseball scores. Stick around.
Yeah, you've seen it all. Done it all. Pretty much got it all figured out. But have you got what it takes to be a mountain man? All it takes are the 2 cool beers of the mountain man. Smooth Busch beer, easy drinking Busch Light. So, be a mountain man. All you gotta do is head for the mountains.
I know if you really care about somebody, nothing else should matter. But it does.
Sometimes getting close to him is all I think about.
I expect her to sweat if she's running a marathon, but not when we're close to each other.
Well, you just can't get close to a guy if he smells.
Get a little closer with Arid XX, the anti-odor antiperspirant. Arid XX helps keep you extra, extra dry.
I trust Arid.
Nah, I wasn't born with the basketball in my cradle. Though some believe we come out dunking once we're conceived. Superstar? I got it made, right? I went from nothing to something overnight. Well, don't believe the hype. I had to work to get to where I'm at, and that's a fact. Mom and Grandma raised me to be proud and instilled their philosophy in me, knowing no one can take that from me. Nah, I had to work to get here. At the Boys and Girls Club, at Memphis State, I had to work to be great.
On July 7th, answer the call to battle.
I am the law. You know no law higher than yourself.
Discover the glory of honor.
Brother to brother, yours in life and death.
Experience the adventure that legends are made of.
You risked your life for another. That is the very heart of Camelot.
Sean Connery, Richard Gere, Julia Ormond. First Night, rated PG-13. At theaters July 7th.
Every morning I wake up starving.
Must feel that dreaming.
So I go to Burger King for a croissant sandwich with ham, egg, and cheese, plus hash browns and coffee, all for just $1.99. $1.99? I must still be dreaming.
Breakfast at Burger King.
1-1 is the score after one period of play as the Philadelphia Flyers look to even up this series. And welcome back to the New Dodge Intermission Report. In that period, we saw a few penalties, and you'd like to put on your striped jersey for a little while, make a few calls of your own.
No, I don't. This is the toughest game in the world, I think, to officiate properly. And sometimes these guys mess up. And that was the case big time, I think, in his first period. This is a penalty, but not against the Flyers. It's against John McClain. There's a rule in the book for diving. Look at that. Fly with me. That's a dive all the way, 100%. Now, that's a marginal trip call that comes up here on Chambers. And take a look now in the corner as the puck comes around the net. A big Mike Peluso with a forearm shiver right here that he gets away with. Now, that's a penalty. That should be an even-up call, and I think all three of those are tough calls. There are so many things you can't control in this game. One of them is officiating, and tonight just hasn't been that good.
Mike's not going to get invited to the banquet at the end of the year for the officials.
We got two coaches here. I don't think the officials are ever going to get praised, but when you get penalties, you're going to have to kill those penalties, and New Jersey has a special way they like to do it.
You know what's funny about Jersey is their team is very passive 5-on-5, but killing penalties and on the power play, they're a very aggressive team. They attack the puck in the end, killing penalties, and you'll see it right here. One thing the Flyers are doing a little bit different tonight, they're hitting the late guy coming behind the man with the puck, and he's carrying it in. This is called a 3-on-1, what Jersey's going to do to him here. It's a 3-on-1 penalty killing. You'll see it happen right here. The guy carries it up. Now watch this. 3 Jersey men in a row. 1 defenseman backs up and supports these 3 men. 19 holds up the Philly player there. So if they do dump the puck in, the white men's job is to hold those guys up. Stevens then goes back and gets the puck and shoots it down the ice, which you saw there. It's an aggressive way. It forces you to stand up the blue line and not back in. And if the team doesn't have a good dump in, like Flyers had here, Stevens just goes back, gets the puck, shoots it down, and the 3 guys hold it up. So very aggressive killing penalties, and on the power play, 5-on-5, very passive.
But Philadelphia was pretty good in that period. I thought they moved the puck around real well, had some good chances off the power play. Bill pointed out, much more confident power play. They could be trouble.
Devils 1 for 2 on the power play. The Flyers 0 for 2. And the news of the Devils, you're still questioning and wondering, will they be in New Jersey next year? As you know, Nashville, that city, is trying to woo them to try and get them to come down there. And New Jersey Governor Christie Whitman yesterday said she wants a counter proposal from New Jersey's ownership on keeping the team in New Jersey. And the Florida Panthers signed their 1994 top pick, who played in Windsor last year, Ed Jovanovski. He gets a deal, 4 years, $5.7 million, just the same type of deal these guys got when they were rookies. And we'll continue with more of the New Dodge Intermission Report in just a moment. When we come back, we will take a look at the French Open Final. That and more in a bit.
Tonight's Intermission Report is presented by Dodge. The more things change, the more things look like the new Dodge.
With Dodge Neon's dual airbags and side impact beams, the question isn't safety. With the new Neon Coupe's multi-valve overhead cam engine and fully independent suspension, the question isn't performance. 2 doors or not 2 doors, that is the question. Say hello to the other Dodge Neon, the Coupe. Get 1.9% financing or lease Dodge Neon for $179 a month.
Hi, this is Paul. 2 more weeks before the Extreme Games. Beware of fake Extreme Games merchandise. This is the official logo. This is not.
The Extreme Games, sponsored in part by Mountain Dew.
Extreme mountain biking, 45 miles an hour.
Did it.
65 miles an hour. Done it. Blindfolded.
Been there.
Then a 4,000-foot vertical drop.
Tried that.
All while slamming a Dew. Nothing's more intense than slamming Mountain Dew. Oh yeah, while watching the Extreme Games on ESPN.
Decent.
Philadelphia Flyers won. The New Jersey Devils won, and the second period is coming up. But right now it's time to continue with the New Dodge Intermission Report. And we're going to take you out to Roland Garros, the French Open, the women's final between Steffi Graf and Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. 7-5, 4-6, 6-love. Steffi Graf gets the win and regains the top spot. She's now the #1 player in the world, her 16th Grand Slam title. In baseball, Oakland has a lead over Boston, 6-4. That's in the 8th inning. Scott Brocious has a home run. Mark McGwire has 2 home runs, his 13th and 14th. Boston with 4 runs in the 3rd. The Mariners trailing the Yankees 2-1. Gerald Williams an RBI single in the first there. Colorado and Chicago. Right now it is a scoreless game in the 7th inning. The Rockies enter with a 4-game winning streak, and Juan Acevedo of Colorado, a 1-hitter through 6 innings. The Cubs enter with 5 consecutive losses. The Expos and the Giants, that one starts at 4:05. In the College World Series, the national championship game, Cal State Fullerton with the big lead over USC, 11-5 right now is the score in the 7th inning. We want to remind you that SportsCenter comes your way at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. They'll have all the scores and highlights, including those scintillating highlights from the French Open. That and more in a moment. But our second period is still to come. A 1-1 game. Ralston got this one. Philly got one back.
There's an unexplainable phenomenon haunting Pizza Hut. Is it an otherworldly spirit compelling people to eat their pizza the wrong way? No, it's new stuffed crust pizza with a ring of cheese and the edge of a new, thinner crust.
Incoming!
And with a large, just $9.99, every living person will be eating it the wrong way, crust first.
I'm eating like a fleshy too! You love the stuff we're made of, Pizza Hut!
Right now, with any purchase, get a hand puppet from the movie Casper, only $1.49, and only at Pizza Hut.
I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, I took the high endurance challenge from Old Spice because I didn't really think it could work better than my old deodorant, but it does. It evaporates less quickly, it also lasts longer, protects better. Try it. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT and they'll buy you a stick of yours. So if you still think every deodorant works the same, take the high endurance challenge from Old Spice because now you got proof, guaranteed.
Red Dog Racing is Kenny Wallace and the Red Dog Thunderbird, turning speedways into dog tracks.
Dodge Intrepid has more available power than Camry, more available safety features than Accord. It's rated less expensive to maintain than Bonneville, and its cab-forward interior is bigger than Taurus's. So it's no surprise that Intrepid's resale value is higher than all of the above. Or should I say, all of the below. Dodge Intrepid. This changes everything. Get 1.9% financing or choose an Intrepid lease rate of only $219 a month.
You know, the best thinker out here is Jack Nicklaus. Always was.
Yeah, because, I mean, there's a lot of guys out here, good players, but, I mean, Jack Nicklaus never, ever plays for the pen. He always plays in the middle of the green, and he's the greatest golfer that ever lived.
Welcome back for more of the New Dodge Intermission Report. Let's give you some injury updates. First of all, Jeremy Roenick is expected to play in this game against the Detroit Red Wings. It's game number 5. He sat out the second and third periods of game number 4, but that was just because they had a 3-0 lead at the time, and they decided to rest him. Now, Gary Suter is also expected to play in that game. He, of course, has the broken hand, and he sat out game 4 after playing in game number 3, possibly to rest that as well. Sergei Fedorov of Detroit is expected to play, although he is day-to-day right now. He has a shoulder injury suffered in overtime of game number 3, and Sergei Fedorov is a guy you had a chance to spend some time with.
Yeah, some of you may be aware that last November, myself and an ESPN crew went to Moscow for a couple weeks to shoot a feature on Russian hockey. And we described the Soviet system and told the story of Soviet children, underprivileged children, trying to make do, trying to learn a game without the necessities. It was quite an experience. Hockey is still Russia's game. Children dress in tiny locker rooms and play on dimly lit rinks. Their equipment is shabby. It's still a window of opportunity for these people, a way to escape a dreary life. Today that's changed, though. Club teams funded by the government are barely surviving. Children are left to find not only their own skates and sticks, but often their own rinks. Help, however, is on the way. Nike is donating 200 sets of equipment to Russia to be delivered this summer in the hopes of giving these children a chance to learn the game properly. It's quite a tribute to Nike, and we at ESPN salute them for their efforts.
It's hard to believe that a country that has produced so many great hockey players, is it possible that we're going to stop seeing great players coming out of the Soviet Union?
It's certainly in danger. These clubs aren't getting ice time. All these government organizations that at one time funded the hockey are now falling through the cracks. There are some private businessmen that are coming to the forefront, but it's in serious jeopardy.
Yeah, that would be extremely hard to believe that we wouldn't see that Sergei Fedorovs and players like that coming back to the United States to play in the National Hockey League. We'll continue with more in just a moment. The second period is straight ahead. Right now, it's a 1-1 contest, New Jersey and Philly.
Oldies are cool on Connecticut's Cool 96.7.
1, 2, 3. Good
Playing Connecticut's best and most oldies. Cool 96.7.
Well, shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby. Pretty woman walking down the street.
Cool 96.7, where Connecticut turns for the best and most oldies.
When it comes to your car, trust the professionals. Fairfield Tire and Auto. Their friendly pros are ASE certified. Use the latest state-of-the-art equipment and walk through repairs step by step in plain English and lets me decide. Fairfield Tire and Auto uses parts of the highest quality. And when it comes to tires, just try beating their Goodyears. They even back their work with a nationwide warranty. The job gets done right the first time. For all your automotive needs, visit Fairfield Tire and Auto Center on the Post Road.
The girl who was too tall. The girl who could run faster than the boys. The pretty girl who never wanted to be a cheerleader. The girl who turned her back on the in crowd has risen above the rest.
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Dodge. The more things change, the more things look like the new Dodge. By Red Dog Beer. Bold yet smooth, unusually easy to drink. You are your own dog. And by new and improved Head & Shoulders, because great hair can't have flakes.
Welcome back to the Meadowlands, everybody. Teams back out on the ice for the second period, 1-1 at the end of one. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement. We told you Christopher Reeves, Superman, does watch these games, and we send him our best after that severe accident. But a period worthy of Superman, Bill, that first period.
What a pace, Gary. The first 3 quarters of the first period, an incredible pace. But once the pace got ground down to a Devils-type tempo, you know what the Flyers were back to facing? That good old trap that they were unable to knock off in the first 2 games. They had better luck in the 3rd game, and they're solving it better in this one as well. The Devils on this play, all 5 guys coming over to one side to set up the trap. The Flyers with Yuskevich going to take the puck up here. Then he has to have Chris Therien follow him for the drop pass. So Yuskevich moves up, and the reason Therien lags behind here is so that Bobby Carpenter cannot get in between him and cut it off. So it goes Yuskevich to Therien, then he's supposed to move it quickly all the way to the other side of the ice. He stick handled once, and that was enough time for the Devils to get across ice. The Flyers got that far, but then they turned it over at the Devils' blue line. So part of the trap solving is in place, part remains to be solved.
And Hextall, an outstanding job in net in that first period. He made some huge saves. Billy Guerin on that tip that he knocked away. Then again, back in front on the intercepted pass. Broughton had the opportunity. All kinds of Devils there, and he knocked them down. Hextall, first 2 games in Philadelphia against the Devils, struggled. Hextall here in other games, as you see, the other 11, a 2.42 goals against. But look at this against New Jersey. They have almost doubled that, and this is a Devils team that did not score a lot of goals during the regular season. 1-1 here as we get set for the second period. Stefan Richer, Bruce Driver up for the Devils. El Morganti's in for us. El?
Well, Gary, another injury to the Flyers that period. Robbie DeMaio took 20 stitches, 15 shallow and 5 deep. I guess they give him 3-dimensional now. That's not one eyebrow. 15 more stitches across there. He's cut. And the reason it took so long, I told you the doctors couldn't be located. They have moved the doctors now after complaining down near the ice. He was out cruising in. This is what you get. You have to play it all, play it for everything it's worth in the playoffs. Cruising in, takes the cut from Brodeur, went in, and as I said, 20 new ones on his face.
All right, Al, thank you. And we go to the second period here. This game tied at 1-1. Ralston and Podine picking up the goals, both of them with their first ever playoff goals. Cleared back around the net, shot 16-7 in favor of the Devils. Bankhouse had it batted down as it hit Gauthier. Tommy Avalon sends it into the wide side corner. Broughton is out there with Ralston and Chorsky on these new lines for the Devils today, with Stefan Richer being unable to play and Bruce Driver, the defenseman, the same. Dean has taken his place. That hit the back of the net. Bounced to Dean. Dean dropped it back into the middle, knocked away by Chambers, over to Chorsky. Don Chorsky will send it into the wide side corner, and the Devils will change it up. During that first period, whenever Lindros was on the ice, both Stevens and Lemieux were there if it was an even strength situation. So Jacques Lemaire got both of those guys out in that first period. Breland moves it up through center. Brindamore reaching in. Breland open a bit. Shot deflected by Dykehouse into the seats.
Boy, Rob DeMaio's cut looked really nasty. Man. He is all nicked up. Remember a couple of weeks ago, Norm Charlton, the pitcher for the Phillies, got dinged right between the eyes and got cut on his forehead from a line drive. And a couple of guys on our Sports Center show said, amazingly, he was in the lineup the next day. I was sitting there saying to myself, if it was a hockey player, they'd be saying, amazingly, he missed a shift.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I'm telling you.
As fast as he could.
You bet.
Not a lot of size right there, but a lot of heart. Taken by Dykehouse in behind the net. The Lindros line is out there. Lemieux is out there. Stevens is out there. Brought through center by Carrion, who flips it in. Danico there over to Stevens. Scott Stevens, the Devils captain, back to Kenny Danico. Renberg, Lindros, and Leclerc leads in a doom line. Coming into this game, playing at a -1 against the Devils. Save made by Hextall. Comes back Lindros. Wide side's got Renberg in the middle. Leclerc looking for him. Takes it. Saved by Brodeur. All alone in front. Renberg comes back up to the point. Dykehouse. Dykehouse to Lindros, who tipped it in, intercepted and sent out by Stevens. Lemieux comes the other way. Devils changing again. Lemieux at it blocked. Tries to chase it himself. Hextall trying to reverse. Hit Lemieux with it. Comes to Renberg. Renberg looking up ice. Couldn't connect to Leclerc. Stevens there, drops it back for Lemieux. Lemieux for John McLean, intercepted again. Carrion slip, intercepted by Holik. Holik shots just wide. It got through, but it went wide. A turnover situation. Randy McKay McKay drops it off for Holik and then gets leveled by Lindros. As the crash line is out there with Lindros double shifting. DeMaio tipped it away. Devils were changing, or at least trying. Lost it. LeClaire shot saved by Brodeur. And he has to feed it off. And here we go again. Stevens drops it in the middle. As the pace picks up to start the second, Randy McKay. McKay to Stevens. Wide on that short side. Dump behind the net. Both teams pumping the rubber. Big hit by Lindros as he leveled Bobby Holik. Racing the other way, Antoski couldn't get in front of Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer and Antoski do battle in the corner. Puck still there. Stevens moved in to help. Peluso was there. Stevens picks it up. He wraps it around. Kevin Haller holds it in for the Flyers momentarily. Now away comes Peluso. Peluso drops it off for Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer left it back for McKay. Long shift here for the Devils. They're ready to change. Antoski and Holik never even look at the puck and collide with one another. Rob DeMaio drops it off. Hit put on by Guerin. Comes away to Desjardins. 3-on-3. Desjardins, another glove save. Martin Brodeur. Back comes Chambers. Chambers on the near side for Breland. Couldn't handle. Desjardins to Yulin. Yulin to Podine. Sean Podine moving in. He's got the Flyers goal. Podine wrapped up. Tied up. Literally that time by Dean. Breland lost it. Tied up again in front. Yulin couldn't get the shot off. Billy Guerin, a pick from Chambers, moves in. Guerin tries to draw it by. Couldn't get it by Desjardins. Breland, shot saved, made Hextall. Rebound cleared out. Sergei Breland wide open in the middle. 1-1, second period, 4 minutes into it. And both teams starting this period the way they did the first. Tommy Avalon drops it off. Dean again in the middle. Guerin, Breland, Zalapukin. Guerin brings it in with Zalapukin trailing, centered. Sergei Breland never got to him. Tommy Avalon tips it again. Zalapukin gets it by Dykhouse. Cleared back behind the net. We've had only one stoppage here in 4.5 minutes of the second period.
And I'll tell you who's loving the pace, Eric Lindros. He does not like the trap. He wants to play. He wants to skate and shoot.
Breland centered and Chorsky tipped it wide. Good centering pass by Breland. Flyers the other way. Dykhouse moves it in. Has Yulin cutting. Dykhouse shot, blocked. Yulin trying to get it. Dykhouse batted at it. Brodeur couldn't reach it. Tommy Avalon swept it away. McTavish. Good job to hold it in by McTavish. Down low. Looking. Someone in front. Yulin falls down. Yulin, McTavish both there. Broughton, who tripped him up, comes away with the puck. Neil Broughton will lead the rush. Broughton with the Flyers changing all the way in. Leaves it Zalapukin. Bounces off his stick. Zalapukin and Yuskevich collide. Yuskevich, bad pass. Broughton tried to center it. Hit Yuskevich. Broughton again looking for the D. Moving in. Shot Niedermeyer. Deflected by Yuskevich. Here comes Kevin Dean. Dean at it swept. Brendamore back to Dean. Dean dumped it in, and Brodeur's there off the glass. Chorsky on the far side. Anatoly Semenov stepped in. Semenov to Brendamore. Brendamore wanted to go back to the point. Got tied up. Broughton chipped it away. Semenov gets it back. Semenov trying to wrap around. Couldn't get it on the forehand. Knocked down hard to the boards. Taken there by Broughton. Brendamore with a hit. Dineen looking out in front. Never got it there. It was blocked by Niedermeyer.
Gary, the Flyers have been more successful in this game on the forecheck and really sustaining pressure on the forecheck. All lines, more in this period and a bit than the entire series put together.
And creating opportunities as a result.
That's their game.
By holding it in. This is going to be one of the rare icing calls we've had in this game. 6 minutes into the second period, 1-1.
I don't get it. Why would you let yourself be led around by the neck?
It's a bad scene.
Gotta have some respect.
Knock it off.
Otherwise, you're gonna get jerked around. See, they say that every dog has his day. Well, I ain't got time for that. Come on, bud. As far as I'm concerned,
Red Dog beer. Bold yet smooth, easy to drink.
every day's a Red Dog day.
Over the past 3 years, Dodge has offered a choice of more new nameplates than anybody else. Here are 3 more new choices that make it easier for you to drive a new, sophisticated Dodge Stratus. Choose from $500 cash savings, or an interest rate as low as 1.9%, or choose a Stratus lease rate of only $199 per month. The Dodge Buyer's Choice Sale. The choice is all yours. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
In Game 4 of the Red Wings-Blackhawks series, as we bring you our Dodge Finals fact, it was a 5-2 final, and the Red Wings were outshot 24-23 in the game. The first time they've been outshot in the playoffs this year. Gary and Bill.
John, thanks very much. Back here, Carpenter won the draw, batted away on Stevens' shot. Chance for Lindros. Lindros the cannon. Brodeur got it. Rebound knocked away by Danico. Same shot, different side. Lindros had the other night in that overtime goal.
Boy, did Brodeur play this one differently. He came way, way out.
Took the shot right in the chest. It'll be chased down by Desjardins. Martin Brodeur loosening up a little bit after that one probably tightened the chest muscles. A 1-1. Both goals came in the first period. Haller sends it in. The bouncing puck held onto with Leclerc moving in front.
So the Flyers are finding open ice in the neutral zone, and as a result, they're able to get a jump on the turnovers. Eric Lindros with a scoring chance. He has been more visible here in Game 4 than he was the entire Game 3 up until he scored in overtime. Leclerc to Lindros. Maybe we can get a look at how far to the net Martin Brodeur ended up on this play. Folks, he's at the circle. He's at the face-off circle. That's faith in the coverage away from you. Brodeur looked up. Nobody else was coming wide. And as soon as you compute that the shooter has no option but to shoot, you can come out. There was one option Lindros had, though, and that was faking it and taking a step wide and seeing if he could get the shot off. But a defenseman was closing very quickly on him.
There are the numbers for him thus far in the game for Lindros. Peter Swoboda, face-off. And Toski had come out, and Toski stepped up, tried to hold it in, couldn't. Montgomery away to center, tied up there with Randy McKay. DeMaio moves over, couldn't get to it. DeMaio, Montgomery, and Toski on this line. Hextall clears that one, shot back in by Peluso. You've got some black and blue players out there right now on both sides. Cleared up, not out. Chambers held it in. Good play by Chambers to hold it. McKay couldn't get it back on side of Tony Alvarez.
The only problem for this fourth Flyers line against the crash line is when the crash line gets down low on the Flyers. Either Montgomery or DeMaio has to drop back in and become a defenseman and help out, and they both give away tons of size to that crash line.
Shot on, missed on the short side. DeMaio. Yuskevich stepped up, tipped away. Bobby Holik. Flyers changing it up. Holik near side to Peluso. Peluso. Back for Bobby Holik, intercepted by Montgomery, ahead for Antoski. Antoski, no chance to get by Dean. And Dean will flip that one up, and now bounces out of the zone. Bobby Holik knocked down from behind by Swoboda. DeMaio sends it back in.
Boy, Bobby Holik he's been hit enough for about a whole series in this game. Eric Lindros flattened him, then he tried to get one of the defensemen, flattened him. He was down again there after Swoboda hit him.
Tom Chorsky cleared it out. Ralston, offside pass. Dykhouse cleared it up to Ulin, not out of the zone, though. Play will go on here with Philadelphia controlling the puck. Dykhouse. Dykhouse comes through the middle. Dykhouse. His pass intercepted by Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer moves it back. Niedermeyer drops it. Pass back the end deflected Dykhouse. Dykhouse trying to go rink wide. Niedermeyer stepped in the middle and took it away. You joined us late. The Devils are having to play without Stephane Richer. He skated in the warm-ups. Regular line skate and then did not play. Neither is Bruce Driver out there. This game's tied 1-1. Second period at the Meadowlands.
You know, Linda's been my barber. Stylist for years. Months. And a while back, she told me.
Stop squirming.
No. She said I should do something about my flakes. I said, get a new barber? She said, get new Head and Shoulders. I said, you're serious? She said, yeah. Now it has Micro D, which fights flakes better without stripping your hair of the oils it needs. So my hair feels... soft. No flakes. And I owe it all to my stylist.
New Head and Shoulders, because great hair can't have flakes.
On my side, yes it is. Time is on my side.
At 5:01, work time ends and Miller time begins. Because nothing finishes a day like a beer that always finishes smooth. Miller High Life, your time, Miller time.
Well, the Devils' trap is tightening up. Flyers here want to bring it up ice. Here's the defenseman that's supposed to come over for the drop pass, but watch Neil Broughton get in between them. See, he got in between so that they forced the Flyers up ice, and the long attempted pass too late. If it doesn't happen, bang, bang, it ain't going to happen at all.
Another face-off win for the Devils as Broughton won that one. Guerin sends it into the zone. Back to get it as Hextall pushed it around the boards. Flyers, Yuskevich cleared it out. Brought back in near side, Semenoff, his shot deflected and tied up on the wide side, Kevin Dineen. Dineen gets hit from behind by Breland. Niedermayer's stick goes flying. Breland again got tied up. Therrien's point shot deflected near side. Devils picking up sticks now. Everybody's got one. Billy Guerin on the far side. Guerin tried to flip, couldn't. Kevin Dineen held it in, knocked away Niedermayer up to the point out of the zone. Breland was Zalapukin. 3-on-3, now a 3-on-2 chance. Zalapukin sees the open man. Guerin back to Zalapukin. Tipped it wide. A Flyer gotten tripped behind the play. Hextall covers it up. It ended up in a 3-on-2.
Wow, now Brindamore is cut and bleeding like crazy. And you're right, Gary. I think it was Semenoff that got tripped in the neutral zone that created the 3-on-2. But again, the Flyers go for more thread. Rod Brindamore sliced over the eye. And he was hot about it. See him there, 17, moving back in the play, trying to take Billy Guerin. And he took him, and as Guerin was coming, that looked accidental. It looked like Billy Guerin was just trying to get his stick back into play. But as a result, here's the scoring chance. Here's our goal cam. You see what Valeri Zalapukin saw, and that was twine, lots of twine, but he was on a jammed backhand side, and he couldn't get it in.
Face-off won by Eric Lindros. This time you see the face-off scoring chances, rather. The drop pass, Lemieux sends it back for Carpenter. Carpenter pinned up in the corner. Knocked down by Desjardins. Leclerc, the loose puck in his own end, around for Eric Lindros. And again, Lemieux and Stevens are out there against Lindros, as they have been throughout this game. Desjardins to Lindros. There's Lemieux, and a penalty coming on Claude Lemieux. And he's yapping about it to Terry Gregson. Power play coming up for Philadelphia as Lemieux got the stick in and took Lindros down.
And they got caught. That's why they were trailing Eric Lindros, because the trap never even set up and they got caught.
Want to remind you that our coverage of this Eastern Conference Final will be continuing, if necessary, on Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern, when the Flyers take on the Devils back here at the Meadowlands Arena. If necessary, Game 6, Tuesday.
See, they're trying to catch up to Eric Lindros. Usually if the trap's set up, they'll stand there and be watching you, facing you. Well, we gave John McLean a 9 you gave him a 9.8. That was about a 9.5, but there's a difference between a dive and exaggerating the infraction so that the referee will see it. That's what McLean did, and that's really what Eric Lindros did. His stick was being held. He didn't dive, he just wanted to draw attention to it, and it worked.
So, here's another power play for Philadelphia. The penalty picked up by Lemieux, hooking at 9:52. 1-1 game. Desjardins shot, glove down Brodeur, and he will get the whistle. In this game, the Flyers have gone 0 for 2 on the power play. The Devils have a power play goal. They're 1 on the board by Ralston from Dean and McLean. Bodine, Dykhouse from McTavish was the Philadelphia goal. Let's check in with Al.
Well, Gary, as we told you before the last game, Roger Nielsen fired as coach of the Florida Panthers, and one of the candidates will be right here behind the New Jersey bench, Larry Robinson. He's going to be sought after by a number of teams, perhaps Los Angeles, certainly Florida, maybe the Islanders. Just shows you what kind of depth they have here. Behind him, Robbie Ftork in their minor league.
And they are the team in the minor leagues that won that American Hockey League championship with the Albany River Rats. In the corner in this power play is Lindros. Back up to Desjardins. Desjardins working the point here with Peter Swoboda. Near side Renberg. Lindros set up in front with Leclerc. Renberg shot, deflected deep, shot it right into Stevens. Renberg again. His pass tipped away by Broughton. Tipped in Desjardins. Not out.
You know the difference between the Flyers power play and the Devils power play is when the Devils get it, they don't think and they don't look. They just rip it at the net, and that's why they get a lot of shots through. Flyers are a little more tentative now, and when they take that second to take a look is when a guy like Scott Stevens lines up perfectly between you and the net, so you can't get it through.
Devils penalty killers have been outstanding. Renberg, the one-timer, couldn't get all of it. Lindros centered it to Brodeur. gets it in the glove and hangs on. 58 left on the power play. Renberg had that last chance. He's picked up a goal and an assist in this series. Take a look at our Light Ice League leaderboard. Martin Brodeur with a save percentage that's #1. And there are some good ones. Potvin, Belfour, Reggett, and you see Ron Hextall ranked 5th. 903, the league leaders in the playoffs in save percentage for goaltenders.
Gary, that's an incredible percentage for Ron Hextall when you consider that for a game and a half his save percentage was under 8. It was 7-something, but you blend it all together and it's way up there.
Before he got to the Devils, he had it way up there. But that goals against New-Jersey at 4-1-0 has lessened the save percentage as well. 20-11 the shots in favor of the Devils. Game tied 1-1. Power play down to 40 seconds. Flyers are on it. Dean sends it back in behind the net. Brendamore tied up there. Niedermeyer knocked back. Niedermeyer takes it. Niedermeyer got it around to McLean. He can't get it out of the zone though.
What a little play. Great play by Niedermeyer behind the net. Boy, is he smooth.
Lemieux cleared it out. We have seen Niedermeyer a couple of times in this series handle the puck. He is a very good offensive defenseman. But with the Devils, gets very little chance to exhibit that. Bounce behind the net. 12 seconds left here. Whistle on the delayed offside call. 12 seconds left on the power play.
Good cut man over there on the Flyers bench because Rod Brindamore is able to play, and he couldn't got his stitches that fast. And very nice. Right on the cut. John McLean gave him the face scrape. Might have opened it up a little bit. Yep, if there's an Achilles heel and you can see it, it's the time of year where you better be prepared to get it whacked or scraped or punched or whatever. Yeah, the scraper laughs and tells jokes.
No mercy.
Yeah, the guy that's got his face bleeding off is over there gasping for air.
Brendamore is still the playoff point leader for the Flyers with 13 points, tied with Eric Lindros now in that department, but has more goals, 5. Lindros with 4. Danico, nice play to tip that away. Had Peter Svoboda cutting in, looking for the shot. Leclerc moves in. Leclerc lost it. Renberg shot just missed. That was through some skates. Power play's over. Loved out of the zone. Desjardins will get it. So the Flyers do not convert. They are 0 for 3 now on the power play in this game, and their woes in that department continue. Maine's tied 1-1. Lindros. Stevens took it away. Lindros cutting in. Claude Lemieux couldn't handle that. Desjardins picks it up off the boards. Danico, Leclerc saw him coming and leveled him. Back comes Broughton moving in. Danico had Leclerc lined up, but Leclerc saw it and got his arms up. Taken behind the net, Kevin Haller. 1-1 game, both scores in the first. Ralston for the Devils. Sean Podine for the Flyers. Around the boards for Randy McKay. McKay, his pass intercepted by Leclerc. Bounces at the blue line. Danico picks it up. Flyers changing behind the play. McKay will send it in. Gets by Uline. Desjardins and McKay on him. Backed it up. Uline. Lemieux had it. Got it to Holik. Claude Lemieux back up to the point. Dean the shot. Save made. Hextall. Partially screened that time by McKay. Dean knocks it down. Here's Dean playing in his first ever playoff game, and it looks solid and confident out there.
Gary, you know what helps? Coming off a championship season in the minors. I don't care who you are, and that's the advantage the Devils have if they end up with injury problems. They can put guys in there that have just come off a championship.
Bobby Holik behind the net, back up for Dean. Dropped it off. Shot. Chambers blocked by Podine and sent out of the zone. 6:36 left to go here in the second. Good play by Sean Podine. Put the body down and got a piece of that one. And again, we go through a long stretch here without a whistle. More often than not in this game. Yuskevich up for Uline. Uline jammed it in behind the net. Picked up by Dean. Dean turning. Brendamore was there. Reverses direction to Chambers. John Chambers behind his own net. Zelepukin on the near side. Larry Zelepukin, bad pass. Deneen was standing there waiting. Back for Deneen, blocked to the point. Yuskevich able to hold it in. Yuskevich sends it around the net. Deneen will chase it down on the far side. Deneen knocked down. Nice play to keep it into Brendamore. Brendamore back, shot by Terry and blocked out deep. And back comes Chambers. Both teams want to change up here. Billy Guerin the turnaround. He gets hit by Terrian, but got it into the zone. Yuskevich there to take it away from Chambers. Sergei Breland held it in. Breland poke checked away Yuskevich. Good play by Yuskevich. Breland won't let go of him, though. In the corner, Terrian, the collision with Guerin. Anatoly Semenoff picks it up. Dean knocks it down at center. Picked up by Tommy Amelin. 22-11 the shots. Favor of the Devils. Game tied at 1-1. Niedermayer's got it. Niedermayer jammed up along the blue line. Yuskevich back in his own end. Over Breland's head. Knocked down by Tommy Avelin. Avelin and Niedermayer teamed up here defensively for the Devils. Philadelphia will change it up. Tommy Avelin looking back to the middle. Had to go back to Niedermayer to Tommy Avelin. Good checking job being done here by the Flyers at center ice. Nowhere for the Devils to push the puck. Tommy Avelin will start the rush up. Drops it again to Niedermayer. Niedermayer tries to flip it in, but it ends up going in the Devils' bench. 4:55 left in the second. Game 4 tied 1-1.
This could be your arm. This could be your back. This could be your stomach. This could be your thigh. These could be your shoulders. This could be your body. This could be the way. The Soloflex Muscle Machine, just $39 a month. Call now for a free brochure. This could be your arm. This could be your chest. These could be your shoulders. This could be your thigh. This could be your stomach. This could be your back. This could be your body. This could be the way. The Soloflex Muscle Machine, just $39 a month. Call now for a free brochure.
That's the time of year when you got to sacrifice your body. Doesn't matter. Watch Sean Podine go down and turn his head and look back at Ron Hextall until he feels it hit him. Okay, I'll just get up now and flip it out. Smart move on the head turn by Sean Podine.
Really read that one well. Jim Montgomery won the face-off. He and Broughton stick at one another. They had the draw and then kept the sticks up. Cleared through center for Montgomery. The turnaround is cleared into the zone. Held on to by Brodeur. The Devils out shooting the Flyers 2-1, but the game tied at 1-1. Niedermayer in the middle for Broughton. Couldn't control. Flyers, Swoboda got it out. Right back in, Tom Chorsky. Chorsky working out there with Ralston and Broughton. Out of the net, Hextall got jammed up with Dykhouse there. And the Flyers avoid a dangerous situation. Dean sends it back in. Kevin Dean played 17 games with the Devils during the regular season, and the rest of that spent with the Albany Riverettes. DeMaio's pass wide side. Niedermayer sends it back out. Swoboda guns it right back in. Brodeur couldn't get it, but it comes back to center to DeMaio. DeMaio just flips it to the wide side corner. Leclerc going after it. He collides with Niedermayer. Freed the puck up. Couldn't hit Lindros cutting. Back into the middle, Ralston. And Ralston will send it up ice. Devils changing it up. Hextall drops it off. Haller looking. Haller waiting as the Flyers regroup in their own end. Kevin Haller with Lemieux moving in on him up for Renberg. Renberg's tip pass. Nobody was in the middle. McLean tried to send it up. Dykhouse had it hit him in the body and back onto the ice. Dykhouse, the high flip. This will be an icing call. Devils will get back Danico for the touch. 3:28 left to go, second period. The scoring in the first. Ralston for the Devils, Podine for the Flyers.
Over the past 3 years, Dodge has offered a choice of more new nameplates than anybody else. Here are 3 more new choices, but they aren't cars. They are 3 choices that make it easier for you to drive a new Dodge. Choose from generous cash incentives or exceptional interest rates or extremely low lease rates. The Dodge Buyer's Choice Sale. Why would you choose to buy anyplace else?
Yes, it is.
The time is 5:01. The beer is Miller High Life, and the reason is clear. When the time is your own, it must be Miller time.
Time.
Miller time, Miller beer.
Yes, it is.
Philadelphia's won their last 4 games on the road. The Devils 3-2 at home this season in the playoffs. The battle here, whether it'll be 2-2 if the Flyers win it or 3-1 if New Jersey can put it away. Kevin Haller up for Lindros. Lindros, Stevens all over him. Another icing call coming here. Danico going back on the touch-up. 3:15 left in the second, and 2 consecutive icing calls. First time that's happened in this game.
Now this matchup continues with Scott Stevens hitting the ice every time Eric Lindros does. Doesn't matter if Lindros comes out with McTavish and Semenov. Doesn't matter who he's with. Scott Stevens waits for him to come out. You know what's kind of interesting? You see his minutes today, 14:23. Coming into this game 4, Scott Stevens' average is 25 minutes a game. And because of his assignment, that's about 10 minutes off what his ice time would be if they were playing against another team that did not have a Lindros. He's a 35-minute guy.
Yep. It's ironic that the time would be cut in a situation where his work's supposed to be started.
And Eric Lindros is averaging 26 minutes a game, which is quite a lot for a center. I mean, that's a lot, but not for a defenseman.
Coming into this game in 3 games, Stevens had missed 1 even-strength shift when Lindros had been out there. That's all. Otherwise, he's been out, and as you see, Lemieux's right back out there when Lindros is there as well. Near side for Desjardins. 2:50 left here in the second, off the boards. Ken Danico back to get it. Danico cleared it up to John McLean. McLean, Carpenter, and Lemieux on this line. Carpenter complaining he got held at center. Batted up in the air. Lindros gloves it down. Passes to himself. Well, Renberg finally 2-on-2. Renberg moving in with LeClaire. Danico on him. Renberg wants a wraparound chance. Danico won't let him and took him down. Good defensive play by Kenny Danico. Bobby Holik got it up ice to McLean. McLean, Holik cutting to the net. For Holik, bounced off the skate. Played by Lindros again. Lindros double shifting in most of these games. Out with his regular line now. Back. Renberg shot. Score! Deflected off a New Jersey Devil. Scott Stevens, I think. It is a 2-1 Flyers lead.
Another bounce that has gone the Flyers' way. They think that they got their first one in Game 3 when Rod Brind'Amour scored their first bounce of the series. Here's another one. The tide looks like it may be turning. The Flyers now lead 2-1. Look at this play start. Eric Lindros went way into his other end to pick it up. Then he faked a cross-ice pass. That froze everybody. Allowed to skate over the blue line. You wonder why the Legion of Doom is better when they've got room. This is it. There was no trap. There was no traffic. There was nothing but ice in the neutral zone for Eric Lindros to skate through and set up Michael Renberg. And that didn't have a lot on it when it got through Brodeur.
It's Scott Stevens and bounced up in the air. And the Flyers lead it. Centering pass blocked. Dumped into the corner. Brind'Amour there. Chorsky put the hit on. Chambers moves up. Goal at 17:50. Renberg gets his second of this series. 5th of the playoffs. Lindros the assist. And it's 2-1 Philadelphia. The Legion of Doom line. They come into this game 3 goals and a -1. They've added a goal here with Renberg getting it. And the Flyers, another one of those late goals in the period we've seen in this series, won by the Devils on most occasions. The Flyers get one here late in the second of this one.
That timing is a help, too.
It don't hurt. Third back in wide of Hextall. 18:09, Podine scored his goal in the first period. 17:50, Renberg gets his in the second. Behind the play, Peluso leveling Dmitry Yushkevich, who is getting up slowly. All right, Pringle's storyline here at the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, the home of the New Jersey Devils. Renberg, the go-ahead goal to give them the 2-1 lead in the second. Ralston and Podine, the other 2, 1 for each team. Both the first ever for both of them in the playoffs. Dykhouse 3 assists in the last 2. Devils without defenseman Driver and forward Richer.
Our Pringles replay, the goal that was just scored by the Flyers, the slap shot by Michael Renberg. This is what goal cam saw. Kind of knuckled. It was wavering. It may have even dropped. Brodeur looked like he was going high for it and had to squeeze his arm down because it went under it. Yep, the Legion of Doom may be coming alive. And you know, the thing that's in the Flyers' favor, and really you have to consider from a Devil standpoint too, is the Legion of Doom has not had, by their standards, a big game in this series yet.
Yep. And it was interesting, Eric Lindros was saying to Elmore Gandy, don't expect us to have a big blowout kind of game. He said, I don't think we're going to do that against this team. Save made on Dean's shot. Niedermeyer sent it behind the net. But they don't need to have a blowout game.
No, but they can put together 2- and 3-goal games if their power play gets going. I mean, every big line, including the Legion of Doom, does not only score at 5-on-5. That's why their numbers are down, I think.
And in this series, as tight as it has been defensively, you can, as a line, pick up 2 or 3 goals. That's all.
Oh, that's huge. That's a big, that's a monster.
That is an explosion. Yeah. That one is bounced into the bench. 37.2 seconds left to go. Check in with the man we were talking about here, Elmo Gandy.
That's right, Gary. Well, Eric Lindros was responding to some criticisms back in Philadelphia. Hey, why can't you guys break out? And he said, people have to understand the Devils, they're just not like the Rangers. You're not going to get the odd man breaks. They're not getting away like that. So Legion of Doom today, you got the 21 shots, 7 points in games 1 through 3, 8 shots today, 2 points. But I think what Eric Lindros may be asked to do in this series is not hit as much as he's used to and kind of lurk around in a Mario Lemieux type fashion and then just be the killer with that wrist shot. Yeah. Lindros, of course, on that goal, he doesn't just shoot the puck, he also moves it around. He's an unbelievable playmaker. I think people see that shot and think it's just a shot. Terrific cross ice right there, perfect. They know each other so well, and bang, there you go.
You know, this may be a series where Eric Lindros does a lot of growing in a hockey sense. He's never been one to lug the puck. He's not been one looked at to be particularly a playmaker. He may find a role here that he hasn't had to play a lot and be successful at.
He's never been one to be shut down either. That's right. Another thing. But isn't it interesting? The open ice that they had in overtime, Eric scored, and here he scored with open ice.
Lemieux banged it off the side of the net. Hextall twice had to bat it away. Stevens in the corner doing battle here. Ian Lindros again pushing and shoving. McLean dumped it in, and we've completed 2 periods of play. And the Legion of Doom line has come through. Eric Lindros setting up the go-ahead goal at 17:50 with Michael Renberg, the man who put it away, is second of this series and his 5th of the playoffs. And the Philadelphia Flyers will take a 2-1 edge over Brodeur and the New Jersey Devils into the 3rd period. After 2, the Flyers 2, the Devils 1. John Meikenberry.
All right, Gary and Bill, thanks a lot. And Philadelphia has a 2-1 lead. And you think about it, in the other game, the Devils were 6 minutes away from going up 3-0. Now they're 20 minutes away from it being 2-2.
Well, if I'm Jacques Lemaire, I don't like what's happening tonight. I don't like giving up 2 late goals in each period. I don't like the pace of the game. I don't like giving up outnumbered chances. And I don't like having 2 of my veteran players hurt, especially Bruce Driver, a veteran defenseman.
Everything seems to be starting to go Philadelphia's way. They get the lucky break in Game 3 to set up overtime. They get the overtime winner. And today, 2 late goals at the end of the first and at the end of the second period. Momentum is definitely shifting.
And that second one had a little luck as well, as it was redirected past the Brodeur by one of his own defensemen. Stick around. When we come back, we will examine the other series in the West between Detroit and Chicago. It's been a rugged affair. It's 3-1 right now, the Red Wings with the lead.
There's a new Dodge Neon starting to show up out there. And lurking under its hood is a 150 peak horsepower surprise. Look for details in the fast lane. Say hello to the other Dodge Neon, the Sport Coupe. Get 1.9% financing or lease Dodge Neon for $179 a month.
We asked the hottest coaches in the game to switch antiperspirants and try new Degree.
Body heat activated.
As your body heat rises, Degree now releases even more protection.
It just keeps you dry. It certainly worked for me.
New advanced formula Degree, now with an even higher degree of protection.
To put together the best Father's Day, start with Craftsman Tools. This Craftsman 61-piece mechanics tool set with case, or this 3-drawer rally box. Your choice, just $49.99. Craftsman, only at Sears and Sears hardware stores.
Every morning I wake up starving. Must be all that dreaming. So I go to Burger King for a croissant sandwich with ham, egg, and cheese, plus hash browns and coffee, all for just $1.99. $1.99? I must still be dreaming.
Breakfast at Burger King.
As a roller hockey player, there are 2 choices you can make when it comes to your equipment. You can lose 15 pounds a game sweating wearing ice hockey equipment, or you can lose the 15 pounds of ice hockey equipment and stay cool wearing our stuff. Franklin air-cooled design roller hockey gear. The coolest equipment in the game.
Beyond the Arctic Circle. Beyond the tree line. Beyond experience.
The
Molson Ice Polar Beach Party, Labor Day weekend 1995, with Metallica and Hole. Also appearing, Veruca Salt and Moist, Tuktoyaktuk, Arctic, Canada. Get up there.
The Philadelphia Flyers with a 2-1 lead and now just 20 minutes away from evening this series at 2 games apiece. And welcome back. And when you play against the New Jersey Devils, you're not going to get many odd man rushes. And when you do, they play them pretty well.
Well, Jersey thrives and prides himself in not giving up outnumbered chances, and they really play them very well. We've got a clip here that shows the Flyers working hard to get a 3-on-2 with the defenseman jumping in. Great play there to blue line. Now that's a defenseman. That's Swoboda jumping into the play to create the 3-on-2. Now the Jersey's defense job is to hold those two guys up and slow them down to let a player come back. What the Flyers' job is to go with speed so the guy can't catch the offensive player. Chorsi comes back, catches that player. The other defenseman takes him wide. Stevens' job is to attack the puck carrier. Great 3-on-3 coverage. Nobody's open. Stevens blocks the shot partially. And look at the coverage in front. Abilene's got his man in front. Chorsi stops in front. The front of the net's the area to protect. That's where all the garbage happens. That's where bad things happen. Jersey covers the front of the net very, very well on that play.
Yeah, both of these teams are really well coached and well trained to cover their guys defensively in their own zone. It's tough to see these guys making many more mistakes. I don't think there'll be more than a couple goals left in this hockey game.
The Philadelphia Flyers, their power play actually has looked pretty good at times today, but nothing to show for it.
Especially in the first period, it looked really good, but it now stands at 0 for 3, and there are some reasons why. Barry talked to you a little bit earlier about how New Jersey was killing the penalty, but the Flyers have to get some way to get somebody in the slot. Look at everybody is around the perimeter. They can move the puck around the perimeter all they want without shooting it, and the Devils are certainly going to let them do that. There's just absolutely no danger in this power play as far as the New Jersey Devils are concerned. And I'll tell you what, it takes a lot of guts to do what Scott Stevens is about to do right here. Watch him go right out and block the shot. This puck's going to be flying at about 100 miles an hour, and Scott Stevens, with his nose right down to the ice, takes a blow for the team. And I'll tell you, that's a great job by the Devils, and the Flyers have to learn from that. They have to penetrate.
Good power plays at this time of year are simple, and they shoot the puck and they put big men in front. They got Leclerc in front, but those defensemen have to get the puck through the first guy in order to create that traffic in front of the net, and that's how you score this time of year.
In the other series, it's 3-1. Detroit has the lead over the Chicago Blackhawks. Detroit could have closed them out. They were up 3-0, but they didn't look all that motivated in game number 4. Stevie Yzerman, though, says they have all the motivation they need.
We don't need any, there's nothing, you know, don't need to be motivated or anything like that. There's enough there. It's, we need a win, obviously, badly, and they do too, but we're in a position to close out the series.
For us, every game now is going to be like, it's do or die, and we were prepared. We played desperate, and we came out and we were ready. And
you know, we got to play a little desperate and, you know, put ourselves more or less in their shoes and play, you know, just a little desperation hockey. I think that'll help, and wait till Sunday, see what happens.
The word desperation keeps coming up in that Chicago locker room. They played with desperation, and it worked pretty well.
Well, for some reason, that caught Detroit off guard. They weren't prepared for this team to come out and play with desperation and play scared. This is a very proud team, the Chicago Blackhawks, and they were going to come and they were going to get fired up, and they were going to run into everything that's red. You see some great hits here. Big Dazé was a big force, huge force. Everyone's getting knocked down, and if you remember the tapes the other night, the Detroit players weren't doing that to Chicago players. The Chicago players are skating around without anybody touching them, and every Detroit player is being punished. And I thought the key line of the whole thing was Dirk Graham said, this team will respond for Eddie Belfour after Eddie let in that soft goal in overtime.
And when you're aggressive, you got to expect you're going to take some penalties. And here was a situation where the Hawks had 4 called against them in the first period, but they made some adjustments that made life really difficult for Detroit. And one in particular is they picked up Paul Coffey early. Watch, as soon as Coffey gets a drop pass here, that's what they want so he can generate some speed late. But the Nichols goes right to him, picks him up, and actually forces a turnover right here that winds up in an opportunity for the Blackhawks. And again, you'll see it again, when Coffey gets the puck, they attack right away. No chance for Coffey to wind it up, no chance for him to join the rush, and again, they grab the turnover. So good adjustments by the Chicago Blackhawks, and they made life difficult for the Red Wings on the power play.
I would love to see Chicago even be more aggressive with Coffey, punish him even more, do more hitting. The teams that do that have a lot of success with him.
Yeah, and you can see the Game 4, they were 0 for 6 here. That's a real surprise, a power play that's that effective, has been that effective throughout the year. That is doing some real good work on the penalty killing area.
So as a result, right now it's 3-1. Chicago's still very much alive, and we remind you that Sunday on ESPN2 at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, we'll have game number 5 from Detroit. The Red Wings will try and close them out. The Blackhawks and Wings tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Stick around. When we come back, we will examine some of the baseball scores. More to come right here between the second and third period.
Hi, this is Paul. 2 more weeks before the Extreme Games. Beware of fake Extreme Games merchandise. This is the official logo. This is not.
The Extreme Games, sponsored in part by AT&T.
AT&T, this is Carla.
Carla, this calling circle thing is too much for me. The TV ads, they're calling me at home. My terrier is less tenacious.
You want AT&T True Savings.
Yeah?
It's AT&T's simplest way to save 25%.
Good, because I want simple.
Sign up, make $10 in calls a month, and we'll subtract 25% off your AT&T bill.
25% off to who?
To anybody.
Anybody?
Anybody in the U.S.
Hooray, you signed me up, because, you know, Are you married?
AT&T True Savings. Save 25% to anybody, anytime, anywhere. That's your true choice, AT&T.
Some people are just born with the sports car gene. And if you design cars for Mazda, you'd better have it. You want something that's a rush to drive? No one puts more heart into it than Mazda. But then, it's what we were born to do. Race into your Mazda dealer now for this very limited time offer on the MX-6.
The Flyers with a 2-1 lead over the Devils after 2 periods of play, and the third period is still to come. We'll get you back out to New Jersey in just a moment, but right now let's check Major League Baseball scores and highlights. The Boston Red Sox have been one of the hottest teams in all of Major League Baseball, but they ran into Mark McGwire today. Eric Hansen gives up this solo home run to center field, and the A's have a 3-0 lead. On to the top of the 7th, McGwire again against Stan Belinda, and this curveball hangs. This is a 2-run shot back into the screen over the monster, and the A's go on to the 8-5 win. Scott Brocious also had a home run in the game. The Mariners over the Yankees, 3-2 is the final there. Chad Kruger had the go-ahead RBI single with 2 out in the top of the 9th inning, and the Yankees have lost 3 in a row. Elsewhere, the Rockies lose to the Cubs 3-0, the shutout there. Sean Dunston, a 3-run home run in the 7th, doing all the damage as the Cubs end a 5-game losing streak, and the Rockies end a 4-game winning streak. Montreal and San Francisco, the Expos have just taken a 2-run lead now. 4-2 play is in the 3rd inning. Tony Tarasco is an RBI double in the 2nd inning of that game. The College World Series, Fullerton State against USC. Mark Kotze crushes a 3-run home run. This one out to right center field. 3-0 Fullerton takes the lead. And it's Kotze once again. This one's a 2-run shot, his 2nd home run of the game. 7-3 at that point. Tough afternoon for USC. And Kotze actually finished the game on the mound. Fullerton wins it 11-5. 2 home runs and 5 runs batted in for Kotze in the game. First time the /1 seed has ever won the College World Series. Cal State Fullerton gets it done. And in the French Open, Steffi Graf defeats Arantxa Sanchez Vicario 7-5, 4-6, 6-love. Graf becomes the #1 player in the world once again. We want to remind you that SportsCenter comes along at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. They'll have all the scores and highlights and full details of all the things we've just talked about, but we still have a 3rd period ahead. It's been hard hitting in New Jersey at the Meadowlands, and we expect that to continue. 2-1 right now. Philadelphia has the lead.
My summer vacation, it started out pretty lame. Then my dad got a new jet ski STS watercraft. That changed everything. It's got a Radical 750 with twin carbs and some cool gauges. It really shreds. We made some friends who had a 900 ZXI. We never got out of the water. It was awesome. This thing really kicks.
Chuck.
I mean, it really goes fast.
Thank you, Chuck. Okay, Billy, you're next. Billy.
It's coming. To take cold. To take taste. To take smooth. To the extreme. Introducing Bud Ice. One ice that goes beyond the others. To take smooth. To the extreme. New Bud Ice.
Hi, I'm
Cam Neely. Welcome to my workout. Let's start with a little scrimmage. Hey, come on. 1 and 2. Keep those elbows down. Remember to breathe. Now you want to get yourself right in front of the net. You know you're doing it correctly if you feel it right back in here. Let's head to the gym. Move those legs. Come on. Pump it. Pump it. Stay with me. Breathe. Back to the ice. Now for a really good workout, try playing against a future Hall of Famer like Ray Bork. If you don't have a Ray Bork, just use whatever you have around the house.
Above the Arctic Circle, today is officially the first and last day of summer from 12:05 to 12:23. So for all you guys up there in the frozen north, enjoy.
The warmth of summer is here and gone.
The sun in your face, the wind in your hair. What would summer be without the one and only Mazda Miata?
Don't let summer pass you by while you can lease a new Miata for so little.
My very first experience driving a car, I got a 49 Chevy out of my dad's wrecking yard and then went out and played in the desert in New Mexico. You can be the fastest guy out there, everything can be going your way, and then all of a sudden, poof, it's gone.
If necessary, Game 6 would be played at 7:30 Eastern Time on Tuesday, and we will have it for you right here on ESPN. And right now, the Philadelphia Flyers with a 2-1 lead look as though they're going to try and force that Game 6. Michael Renberg, one reason why. Back in a moment.
Oldies are cool on Connecticut's Cool 96.7.
1, 2, 3.
Playing Connecticut's best and most oldies. Cool 96.7.
Well, shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby.
Pretty woman walking down the street. Cool 96.7, where Connecticut turns for the best and most oldies.
If you're driving along thinking you have the best car insurance for your money, you probably have Allstate. If not, wait just a minute. Have your Allstate agent check out your coverage and maybe save you some money. You're in good hands with Allstate.
There's an Allstate agent in your neighborhood ready to serve you. In Greenwich, contact Steve J. Tash. In Stamford, contact Carmine Aquino. And in Wilton, contact Baden Bud Taylor.
Oh, yeah, me and Tony used to do everything together. Remember when we dressed up as Batman around for Halloween?
Oh, yeah.
That was great. That was fun. And we were dating the same girl?
No.
Oh, I must have been thinking of somebody else.
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be. By Mazda. Mazda, it just feels right. And by 1-800-COLLECT, the way to save on collect calls.
For only the second time in the 14 games the Devils have played in the playoffs this year, they enter the third period trailing. Philadelphia up 2-1 as we go to the third.
I'm not worried about Eric Lindros's energy at this point. I'm sure he isn't either. This is how he left the ice at the end of the second period. Why was he jazzed? I mean, he's jogging off after a shift. He was jazzed because a couple of minutes before he jogged off, he fed Michael Renberg for this goal, and that is standing up right now as the goal that has put the Flyers ahead by 1. And the Legion of Doom has started to pick it up a little bit. They combined for 4 points and 11 shots in the first 2 games in Philadelphia. And now through games 3 and what we have played of game 4, they've got 5 points and 18 shots.
Lindros, the overtime goal, of course, in game 3 that gave them the W. And now setting up what is now the go-ahead goal in game 4. There are the number of shifts, 14, 17, 11 so far played in the first 2 periods.
And the Flyers take their cue so much from Eric Lindros that when he does well, they seem to do well. All of those shifts that Eric Lindros has had, Scott Stevens has been on the ice for all of those even strength shifts. Scott Stevens is nicked up, folks, but that's just the paint job. The framework is intact, and he has been a strong, strong player in this series.
Without Stephane Richer, Claude Lemieux, the one real, genuine scorer. Not that there aren't others like Randy McKay who can do it, but sniper-wise, it needs to be Lemieux. Now a quick change by Lemaire. He had Chorsky, Broughton, and Ralston out there. Bobby Holik and the crash line come out now. to play here. This is not the Lindros line out there for the Flyers. The crash line starts the third and a very late change. Bodine cutting towards the net. Brodeur watches it go around. Centering pass block comes to Chambers. Chambers has had to play on the other side defensively tonight with Bruce Driver out. The injuries are more than just to the players that the Devils have suffered. Bill and I were talking about that during the intermission with Richer gone and Chambers gone.
Claude Lemieux has had to move from right wing to left wing where Richer was, and Chambers has had to move from left D to right D because he lost Bruce Driver as a partner, and all of that throws wrinkles into your situation.
Right when you don't want any wrinkles at all in a Game 4 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Chambers going back in behind his own net for the touch on the icing call. Just underway here in the third period. Flyers up 2-1. Al?
Well, I had a chance to talk to Keith Acton, Flyers assistant coach between periods, and there's Ron Hextall, Flyers goaltender. What the coaching staff is most worried about is the Devils are getting a lot of quality scoring chances. And the Keith Acton area said we have to cut down on these real quality scoring chances in this period. Even though we're getting through, it seems like the game's more wide open. We don't want to get too many of those great chances on Hextall in this period.
Well, we tracked scoring chances 5-4 for the Flyers in the second period. Even though they were outshot, we had them with 5 scoring chances to the Devils 4. Mind you, they all seem good. When the game is that wide open, they're not just little wraparound tries. They're wide open shots.
Coming into this game, the Devils had outchanced Philadelphia in the series, 66-43. Flyers with a 2-1 lead here, scoring their 2 goals on just 12 shots. The Devils have doubled the number of shots, 25-12.
Hey, Gary, the Flyers have just snuck Eric Lindros onto the ice without Scott Stevens out there. The Flyers quick change, so we got the first real cat-and-mouse poaching and line matchups and changes. Now the Devils are scrambling to get Stevens out there.
As soon as he saw it, Stevens had one leg over the bench. Terrien back in his own end with Yuskevich. Yuskevich picks it up, drops it back for Terrien. Lemieux's up in the forecheck. This is where Lemieux will really pound. And his forecheck freed the puck up. Scott Stevens shot, blocked. Yuskevich bounce. Carpenter trying to get it off. Can't. Picked up by McLean. McLean tried to dump it in front. Ended up coming back to him. He sends it through the top of the crease. Renberg batted it up. Not out. Bobby Carpenter held it in. Pressure by the Devils. McLean behind the net. McLean looking. At the side of the net. Rebound loose. Leclerc's got Lindros. Renberg looking. Lindros up front. Lindros 3-on-2. Lindros drops it. Renberg save made. Martin Brodeur. The odd man rush for the Flyers. Brodeur, big save. McLean can't stay onside. Offside pass.
How about that pass by Claude Lemieux, Gary? We remarked in Game 3 that the Devils had been better passers in this series, which they were. It is even Steven in this game. Claude Lemieux just put that pass right into John McLean's skates on a clear-cut 3-on-2. The Devils had some pressure after a Chris Terrien giveaway. But the Flyers took off on their odd man rush going the other way. Boy, Renberg got all of this. That hit Brodeur's pad on the top of the pad. Michael Renberg, as Eric Lindros really recommended after Game 3 on the overtime goal. He said, I didn't even look. Against Brodeur, a goalie like that, you can spend all day looking. Sometimes it's just better to wind up and let it rip.
And that's what Flyers are trying to do because they don't get many chances. Third around near side to Broughton. Broughton, Ralston, and Shorsky out there for the Devils. McTavish pushed it behind the net. Scooped around the wide side for DeMaio. Rod DeMaio moving it in. DeMaio's got a 3-on-2. And Toski couldn't set it up. Brodeur batted it away. Picked up by Dean. Devils down by 1. Wide side shot. Ralston save Hextall. Ralston's looked good here in this game. He has played very aggressively. Intercepted by Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer comes to the red line. Broughton brings it in. Devils really putting pressure on offensively here at the start of this third period, trying to get it evened up. Kevin Haller bats it around the net. The Flyers are 6-0 in the playoffs when they've had a lead going to the third. Montgomery, a piece, couldn't get all of Zelepukin. Kevin Haller reaches behind him. Zelepukin goes down, but he's not going to get the penalty call. Good try. Not quite enough. Larry Gregson, the ref right there.
He was shaking his head. Gregson wasn't talking to him, saying, no, I'm not going to buy that one.
Cleared up and not out of the zone. Tommy Adelin had held it in. Now it bounces away to center. Would have been a delayed offside. Billy Guerin behind the net. Hextall holding it up. Kevin Haller moves in. Hextall played it up himself. Not a good play. Intercepted Breland again. Hextall saves himself, but a penalty coming up. Shot in by Tommy Adelin, and he just missed. The penalty will be on the Flyers. Hextall created his own problem right there, and it results in a power play coming to the Devils.
It's everywhere you want to be.
Dykhouse goes cross-checking 3:27.
Ron Hextall had two people over on the boards. That's why he threw the puck up there, but they missed it. Breland with an excellent pass. He only touched it a little bit, Ron Hextall did, but what a save he made on Billy Guerin. That looked like it was headed for the long side.
Here's the power play for the Devils. Brendamore, though, able to feed it deeper into the zone. New Jersey has converted on one chance in this game. In the series, they are 4 for 15. 1 for 2 today in the power play. Their power play, though, the third best in the playoffs. Randy McKay out there who worked in front of the net. Chambers drops it back. Johnny Adelin working a point. McLean, Broughton, and McKay in the power play unit. Brendamore. Good checking by DeMaio up front. Look at Rob DeMaio batting that zone away. Chambers forced back 3 times in his own end. John McLean picks it up. McLean moves it in. Devils trying to get the power play set. Peter Swoboda. Swoboda couldn't get it out of the zone. Now back up Montgomery. Chambers over to Tommy Adelin. Adelin on the near side. In the corner to McLean. Bounce intended for Adelin. Brendamore down and cleared it out of the zone.
What a shift by Robbie DeMaio. He's got 20 stitches in his forehead. I imagine he's saying it's not tough to play with him. They only weigh about a half an ounce.
He needs the extra weight. Swoboda bats it around. Yuskevich up, not out. Chambers held it in. Bad pass. Brendamore. Short-handed breakaway. Rob Brendamore scores!
The only people cheering are Flyers fans, obviously. And the Flyers bench now is saying, give me that momentum, man. They got part of it after game 3 with the overtime win. They're up 3-1 here. It all started deep in the Flyers zone. Oh, man. Sean Chambers tried to pass, put it right on Rod Brendamore's stick. And Martin Brodeur gambled on it. He went for the poke check, and for a moment it looked like Brodeur was going to make the save because Rod Brindamore did not get this one airborne. But just like Sean Podine's goal, it found daylight somehow under that pad that looked like it was flat squashed onto the ice.
Two very unusual goals in areas that looked like they were entirely covered. That is the first short-handed goal given up by the Devils in the playoffs this season. A 3-1 Philadelphia lead as Brendamore picks it up. Cleared around, still a power play here for the Devils. They've got 16 seconds left on it. 4:43 unassisted short-handed goal. Brendamore, his second of this series, the 6th of the playoffs this year. And Brendamore's 15th career playoff goal. McTavish trying to rush through, and the fans here oohing and booing a little bit. Back it comes. Billy Guerin able to chip it in. Hextall plays it off the boards. Guerin knocks it down. Guerin held it in. Tried to run the shot in. Couldn't. Cleared out by Terrien. He was trying to break Lindros cutting. Niedermeyer blocked by Renberg. Renberg will send it in. Brodeur back to get it. A 3-1 lead for the Devils. 3 goals, 14 shots for the Flyers, rather. Dump back down for Lindros. The Flyers up in this game and a chance to even the series. Renberg had it blocked. Chases it down himself. Renberg wanted a wraparound. Stevens on him. Gets the shot. Blocked out deep. Picked up by Renberg again to Leclerc. Intended for Lindros. Lindros. Stevens pokes it away from him. Guerin. With Terrien raced up. Held it in. Flyers keep the heat on here. Back. Lindros tried to turn around. No angle on it. Chorsky picks it up. So the Devils do not convert on that power play chance and give up the short-handed goal for the Philadelphia Flyers, allowing the Flyers to take this 3-1 lead. New center ice even strength. Broughton lost it. Brendamore picks it up again. Brendamore still has it up for Dykhouse, too far ahead. Tommy Adelin. Adelin drops it back in his own end for Danico, and it has put a real hush on here on this Saturday afternoon at the Meadowlands. Drop pass not out of the zone. Great hold in. Dineen left it down low. Sean Podine tied up by Ralston. Podine got it back behind the net to Brendamore. Rolls up. Kevin Dineen shot. Hit the crossbar. No, may have hit Brodeur in the mask.
I think it hit him dead on. Dead on the mask and knocked him flat immediately. Whack. He must have had time to turn his head. It looks like he's holding his ear. He must have been looking at the shot, you would assume. But that clanged off his mask. Man.
He caught all of that one. Ted shook the trainer out.
Recently, Automobile Magazine described the Mazda Millennium as a great cruising car at a price that embarrasses Acura, Infiniti, and Lexus. Frankly, we didn't intend to embarrass anyone with Millennia's multi-link suspension, ABS, dual airbags, and roadside assistance, all for thousands less than other luxury sedans. And if 0 down and $399 a month proves embarrassing to our competitors, we apologize in advance. Lease the Mazda Millennia for nothing down and just $399 a month.
Polar Beach by Arctic Ocean. Music by Metallica and Hole. Light Show by Mother Nature. And Ice by Molson. Molson Ice. The Molson Ice Polar Beach Party. Labor Day weekend 1995. Also appearing, Veruca Salt and Moist. Tuktoyaktuk, Arctic, Canada. Get up there.
Well, Martin Brodeur is up and all right, but watch him staring down this shot. At the last second, he turns his head and takes it on the right side of the helmet of his mask. And our gold camera will show you that it blew the mask right off. As he's going down, the mask is coming off. Now, if he gets hit on the front, if he keeps looking at it, it won't hurt as much. That's the way the masks are made. But instinctively, you're going to turn your head, and getting it on the side of one of those is worse than getting it straight on.
It's a save, but man, that's a hard way to make it. Brodeur stays in.
Is it even a save? If they rule that was going to be over the net, he doesn't even get a save for it.
Man, oh man. Bounces off near side to Randy McKay. Flyers up 3-1. Bobby Holik blocked by Podine. Held in by the Devils. Niedermeyer shot. Hextall the save. Peluso. Kevin Dineen, Peluso, and Swoboda.
Oh, man, did Carl Dykhouse just get taken down by Randy McKay. But there are 2 Flyers on McKay. Rod Brindamore and Carl Dykhouse are both grappling with him. Claude Lemieux found himself in a couple of these situations.
There will be some penalties on this one. We'll pick them up for you when we come back. Right now, it's 3-1. Flyers leading the Devils.
A falling price. What would it sound like?
A crash.
Splat.
The prices do fall. They fall.
First it's like 12, okay, then it goes to 10, then it goes like to 9.
It was $25.96, now only $22.96. It was $59.76, it's now $54.97. It was $28.96, it's now $24.96. We like our customers and we want to give them a good deal.
Watch for falling prices.
Philadelphia Flyers, having lost 2 games at home in the opening 2, came to New Jersey and won the last one in overtime, and have a 3-1 lead here in the 3rd. Still waiting the calls here on all that took place behind the net.
Here's how this action started. The scuffle after the whistle. Mike Peluso moved in, and he's going to give Ron Hextall a nice little tap there to try to jar it loose. The troops came in to help. I'm still, that was Peter Swoboda's glove, but you know what? It's not Peter's style to throw it up in the air like that, or even to throw it off. I think somebody hooked it with their stick, flipped it up in the air.
There's an extra penalty up for the Devils right now. These 2 teams look more and more like they may be playing a couple more games. If they do, Game 6 would be on Tuesday night back here at the Meadowlands, and we will have it for you if necessary at 7:30 Eastern Tuesday night. Flyers and Devils if necessary, and it will be if the Flyers win this game. Now the penalties, Philadelphia And the Devils, Peluso 2 for slashing, 2 for roughing. McKay 2 for roughing. Dineen gets 2 for roughing, and Dykhouse 2 for roughing. So the extra to Peluso will give a power play to Philadelphia. Al?
Well, if you look in that penalty box there, 2 of the Devils on the right-hand side, Peluso and McKay. They've been in the penalty box before with other teams, and you might note when one played in Chicago and the other Detroit, they had 11 fights against each other. Now, I don't know the record because each says 11-0 each way, and it actually took a while for them to warm up to each other as member of the Devils till they were finally on this crash line.
They have done that. Their T-shirts came in today. They've got crash line T-shirts now that were ordered and made it for the playoffs. Right now, though, power play for the Flyers. You see only 2 shots on 3 chances. Philadelphia's power play continues to struggle mightily. Eric Lindros picks it up behind the net. And we'll start it out for the Flyers. 12:13 to go, 3rd period. Lindros dumped it in. Chased down by Brodeur. Got it away to Stevens. Up the boards McLean. And does not get it out at the point. Just batted down and held in by Desjardins. Danickel, though, has room to clear wide of Hextall. Dykhouse will come back to pick it up. A 3-1 Philadelphia lead, even though they're being outshot 28-16 in this game, and have not been able to convert on a power play goal. Lindros got it in. LeClaire looking back for Renberg, got it blocked. Danickel blocked it, sent out of the zone. Stevens back there helping out. Philadelphia will change it up. 1 minute left to go on this power play. Stevens, a red line shot into the corner. Played by Hextall on the rebound. Dykhouse able to pick it up. Power play underway here, Philadelphia. As the Flyers have their 4th of the game. Sent in by Therrien. Brodeur plays it again off the boards. High. Knocked down Brendamore. Batted up in the air. A whistle. Somebody hit it with a high stick. And the faceoff is going to go all the way down to the Philadelphia end. Gregson saying that was done intentionally by Brendamore. There you see Dineen and Dykhouse in the box for Philadelphia, each getting 2.
Well, I'll tell you, the Devils are having so much trouble in the faceoffs through 2 periods coming into the 3rd. Eric Lindros had won 8 of 9 critical faceoffs. That's defensive zone and offensive zone. Bobby Carpenter, I don't know if Bobby Carpenter's hurt, but when he's out there against Lindros, they do not allow him now, it looks like, to take the faceoffs. Claude Lemieux has taken some, and Claude Lemieux is lining up right now to take one with Bobby Carpenter in the shooting hole. Carpenter has only won 22 out of 74 faceoffs in this series. That's under 30%. He may be banged up.
Could be. Philadelphia's had a huge advantage in most of these games in the faceoffs.
And got nothing for it, really.
No, it has not converted into anything. Power play underway, continuing here. Brendamore tipping it in. 28 seconds left on the Philadelphia advantage. Dean put the hit on. Desjardins held it in. Anatoly Semenov dumped it down low to Brendamore. Semenov, Lindros, Brendamore out there right now. Cleared out by Carpenter.
Smart play by Niedermeyer. He had broken his stick, had to drop it, and he hand passed it.
Ralston has picked up one of the Devils' goals. The only one up there. The last 3, Podine, Renberg, and Brendamore for the Philadelphia Flyers to give them the 3-1 lead. And again, if you joined us late, the Devils are without Stephane Richer, their high-scoring forward, leading goal scorer during the regular season, and they are without Bruce Driver, their captain defenseman.
You've got to worry about the quick turnaround in these 2 games, too. They play tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Will those guys be back?
Lemieux kicked that one in on Hextall, and he hangs on. Yes, certainly a quick turnaround. Back-to-back games would favor Philadelphia.
No question, unless it's with Richer a matter of his back just going into spasm, and they can overnight massage it and give him muscle relaxers, whatever it takes to loosen it up. But if not, same with Bruce Driver.
Hextall making 27 saves so far. Take a look at this one. Brendamore's shorthanded goal, the 6th of the playoffs, leads the Flyers. And the road team a 3-0 in this series. Hextall the 27 saves.
Our Visa replay as the shorthanded goal by Rod Brind'Amour that has made it 3-1. The deke to the forehand had Brodeur beat. Did not go upstairs with it. I don't know if that's just not part of the break starting to go the Flyers' way. Sean Podine had one that had eyes, scored one that had eyes in the first period, and Rod Brind'Amour's didn't seem to have any room at all, but somehow it found its way in, and that tells you that the Flyers are now getting some breaks.
6th goal of the playoffs for Brind'Amour, and that shorthanded, which is the 3rd shorthanded goal Philadelphia has scored in the playoffs this year. Sent in, Chambers going back to get it. Lindros hard into the boards. Dean came right back. Those Dean who come back against the boards on that. Lindros got all of him. Bounces back into the middle. It'll be picked up there and played out of the zone. Philadelphia opening it up with a 3-1 lead here. And now the Devils, 9:39 left to go in the third period, may need to open it up themselves. Try and create some offensive chances. Zelepukin centering pass, gloved by Hextall. Not what you call a real roundhouse shot right there by Valeri Zelepukin. Wow, is it quiet at the Meadowlands right now?
And it was jacked to start the game. I mean, this crowd was jacked up.
19,040. Sold out crowd here. Brendan Byrne Arena, East Rutherford, New Jersey, the home of the Devils, and Philadelphia trying to make it 5 straight on the road in the playoffs. You know what the score is just by knowing where we are and looking at the fans. Face-off will come to the left of Hextall. Bobby Holik out there on that draw, lost it to Brendamore. Peter Swoboda up the board, blocked by McKay. Swoboda on him. Both digging for the puck with Holik moving in from behind. With his Devin Dineen. No whistle, squirts free. Ralston shot blocked out deep. McTavish broke his stick on that one. On the shot. McTavish runs it up the board. Stevens, a big hip check. Up on the bench, may have his head collided with that corner glass. McTavish did. Stevens hits McTavish again. McTavish still out there. He's looking for Stevens. Can't get to him. So he whacks Bobby Holik. Ralston, poke checked away by Dykhouse. What a shot McTavish took.
Right to the head as well, and he is the only helmetless player left in the NHL. He's received a cut on his forehead in this game that was probably high enough to be prevented from happening if he had a helmet, and that one probably wouldn't have hurt as much, but Craig McTavish has been tough enough to last.
He was standing on his head by the time this play was done. Flyers up 3-1. Stevens.
At Joey's Downtown Restaurant in Stamford, we'll always treat you like a star. Stop in for a bargain matinee business lunch in our beautiful atrium, which is also available for parties and special functions. Catch a sneak preview of the coming attractions during our happy hour free buffet and pizza bar. Then join us for one of our world premiere dinner specials, like a filet mignon dinner for just $9.95 or a lobster dinner for just $13.95. There's even live entertainment on weekends. Joey's Downtown Restaurant, where we always treat you like a star. 20 Summer Street in the heart of downtown Stamford.
Hi, I'm David Smith with a message about family values that I think everybody can agree on. You'll find them here at Carl Chevrolet Geo in New Canaan, where they specialize in family transportation. Choose the ultimate family wagon, the Suburban, or an S10 Blazer, or an Astrovan for one of the safest, most dependable vehicles you can find for your family. Carl will even rent you one so you can find out how it fits your family before you buy or lease.
Come visit the Carl Chevy family on Elm Street in New Canaan.
Hi, David. Hi, David.
Where they've offered family values like these for 66 years.
Well, Scott Stevens came close to putting Craig McTavish into the bench, but he didn't. It did happen in Game 3, though. Not only once, Rob DeMaio and Sean Chambers, but it happened twice when Dmitry Yushkevich put Mike Peluso into the bench.
Off the face-off, Leclerc moving it in. Leclerc drops it back. Desjardins scores! Eric Desjardins, and the Flyers have a 4-1 lead.
And Martin Brodeur is human after all. He got caught in between on that one. He was dropping to his knees. It was kind of indecisive. He did not stand up, and he wasn't down in a butterfly, but the fans now are screaming out of the Meadowlands, just like that, with 8:13 to go here in the third. Eric Desjardins with a pretty good move to the forehand here. He had to skate around Bobby Carpenter to get some room to shoot. And you see Brodeur, it almost looked like he tried to trap it with his pads. And the Flyers lead at 4-1. They felt that they could solve Martin Brodeur, and they sure have in this game for the first time in the series.
Desjardins, who leads against the Flyers in plus-minus coming into this game at a +10 has given Philadelphia a 4-1 lead with only 8 minutes left to go in this third period. The Flyers with a victory would knock this series up at 2-2.
And that is the first time that the Devils have allowed 4 goals in a playoff game this season.
We were talking about the numbers that Brodeur has put up, and now the hit on Lemieux, John Antoski. They skate away from each other at least for a moment. Danico comes in. Desjardins' goal from Leclerc and Haller at 11:47. His first of this series for Desjardins, but his 4th of the playoffs this year. And Martin Brodeur is going to come out. Now there's not a goaltender left in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs who hasn't been replaced.
Well, Mike Vernon was yanked, and he was the second last. And now Martin Brodeur is out, and this is simply, listen, kid, rest up for tomorrow because we're playing at 3 o'clock with 7:45 to go. Flyers really in complete control of this game. And as the Flyers took the lead to a 3-1 level, Gary, they even have really looked stronger defensively.
Yep. They have played a very strong game at both ends of the ice.
And really, for the first time in this series, the Devils have tried to play Flyers hockey. The Flyers have not been forced to play Devils hockey.
The Devils are not going to be able to win, I don't think, at that game. Rolled in, Chris Terreri in net, making his first appearance in the series. Renberg bats it away, and obviously his first appearance in the playoffs this year. Played by Lindros, dumps it into the corner. Back through to the middle. Lemieux is there, takes it down. Yuskevich punches Ralston in the jaw and then backs off. Ralston had it batted up in the air. Renberg gloved it out. Golfed in Tommy Alblin. Wound up with a 9-iron on that one. Chris Terreri, the man in net for the New Jersey Devils now as they are down 4-1. Near side, Tom Chorsky in, shot, save made by Hextall. 6:47 remaining, and more Flyer fans than Devils fans now doing the cheering.
There are more left.
Yes. For that last goal, there was a huge flood towards the exits by Devils fans. For Chris Terreri, during the regular season, shared time, of course, with Martin Brodeur, and when Brodeur's in net, you're not going to get a lot of playing time. He appeared in only 15 games. Ended up with a 3-7-2 mark during the regular season.
Great numbers against the Flyers. Terreri wearing that regular sporting goods store helmet and cage that he wears. You can walk into a sporting goods store anywhere that has hockey equipment and get one just like it.
Yep. What he's always worn and doesn't want to change. Chambers shot deflected off Hextall. Randy McKay. McKay inside shot, score! Mike Peluso! McKay setting up Peluso. Hextall was so deep when he knocked it down, it was already a goal. Not over yet.
How many people do you think there are in the parking lot turning off the car and heading back in right now? So many fans gave up on this game. Mike Peluso's made it 4-2. You got 6:29 to go. It's one of the few scoring chances that the Devils have had in the last 10 minutes of play because the Flyers have just clamped it down. Then McKay with a real good that's a terrific play. We talked about Randy McKay's skill level. He picked that out of midair, and you got to set it down nice and gently so that it's flat. He did it perfectly, centered it out, and bang, the Devils are only down by 2.
Hang on, plenty of time left here. Mike Peluso gets the second Devils goal and makes it a 4-2 game. Peluso had a couple of goals during the regular season. He gets his first of the playoffs in this game for the Devils. Batted into the Philadelphia bench. 6:12 remaining in the third. Flyers 4, Devils 2. Randy McKay the setup. Peluso's goal at 13:31. Sean Chambers got the other assist. There is Peluso. It's only his third career playoff goal and the first playoff goal this year.
He's going to have to come off, I think. The chin strap looked like it was ripped off his helmet, and can't just go out there without one. I don't even know if that's a league rule, but it must be in there someplace.
All of them come with it. You see him wearing it, even though it's hardly attached sometimes.
Oh, they snapped it back on, got it in shape for him there.
You could just kind of tie his hair through the holes and put it braided underneath.
Works for me.
I love him. Played back by Desjardins, back in behind the net. Eric Desjardins, who's picked up a big goal in this game. Short-handed goal by Brendamore, and there's Brendamore. Sends it back through the middle. Niedermeyer, and Flyers want to be careful. They're coughing it up here, and the Devils are hungry.
You know, as soon as the Devils scored, they went back into the trap more patiently, and they've been just waiting for the Flyers. Now that goal kind of stabilized them and sort of whacked them back into their game mode.
And a whistle here, delayed offside call. 25 remaining here in the third. Tom Chorske moving up. McLean with him. Chorske dumped down. Lane tried to wind up, couldn't get it, and the Flyers just batted out of the zone. Desjardins. Chris Terreri at the other end drops it off for Stevens. The Devils won the first two in Philadelphia. The Flyers are trying to reciprocate by winning two here on the Devils' home ice. Carrion back in his own end. Carrion looking, trying to break it near side. Antosky, he'll send it in. Chris Terreri holds it up. Stevens back to get it. McTavish behind the net with it. Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer starts it up for New-Jersey. Niedermeyer by one. Niedermeyer waiting, looking for help. Got it over there, Dean. His shot deflected. Just off the side of the net where Hextall was. Dumped back into Lemieux. Lemieux shot right through the crease. Didn't have much of an angle, but they're getting it in there. Dean. Devils clear the zone. Ralston moves up. Yuskevich was there and batted it away. Right back to Dean. Near side, Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer, great pass in the middle. Broughton trying to get the shot off. McTavish went down, leaves it to Dean. Dean centered. Had no angle and no one to bat it away. Glove goes flying over the glass into the seats. Niedermeyer over to Dean. Dean centered. Couldn't be tipped by Lemieux. The Devils are this close to making this a one-goal game. Near side, Lemieux. His centering pass was blocked by Yuskevich. All Devils. Dean shot, rolling. Back for Ralston. Ralston. Puck against the boards. Antosky's lost his stick. Yuskevich trying to clear. Niedermeyer held it in, taken by McTavish.
Here, what a wild scene.
McTavish drops it here, 2-on-3.
Both Craig McTavish and Sean Antosky were playing that whole sequence with one glove.
One went over the glass into the seats. Up on the check, Peluso went down as Deneen got the good hip check on him. Here comes Deneen. Deneen drops it. Podine deflected by Chambers, the defenseman. Back the other way, Peluso. And we'll run and gun. Peluso fell down trying to get that into the zone. He collides again with Sean Podine. They both lost their sticks in the collision and both tried to prevent the other from getting it, but there you see Peluso got his back. Sends it in. Gloves and sticks all over the place, including amongst the fans. Kevin Haller back there, taken out of the play by Peluso. Back to the point. Shot, Tommy Avalon. In, shot, save. Hextall twice. The bouncing puck first time went off the body. The second one rebound was banged in on him. Kevin Haller. Haller centered, tipped away by Terreri. Brindamore bangs it behind the net. LeClaire gets hit by Tommy Avalon. LeClaire, Renberg, and Brindamore out there now. Dump back near side. Renberg, good move. Renberg hit by Bobby Holik. Chambers picks it up. 2:28 left to go. It is certainly not over. The Devils getting great chances in that last series. That'll bounce off the stick for the icing call. 2:21 remaining. Flyers by 2.
It up.
Kevin Haller the shot. Deflected out deep as that one hit Chorske. John McLean comes back to get it. Flyers up by 2. 2:11 left to go. Third period. It'll be dumped in by Bobby Carpenter. Hextall tried to bang it around, came near side with it. Danico steps up. Kenny Danico. Danico, the defenseman down low, tried to center for Carpenter. Carpenter turnaround shot blocked. Desjardins. Desjardins clears it up. 2-on-1 break the other way. Renberg with LeClaire. Renberg, LeClaire tips it in. Terreri knocked it away. Didn't get much on it, just redirected it on net. Terreri made the save. Devils got caught with Danico moving in as they're trying to, of course, create the offensive chance.
Eric Lindros is out there now, but he missed the last shift. Rod Brindamore centered Renberg and LeClaire.
On the near side, LeClaire again with Lindros. Lindros moving in. Lindros tried to move in, dropped it back. Backhand shot by Uline goes wide. Chased down by Billy Guerin. 1:20 left to go, third period. Lindros behind the play, colliding with Stevens and took Stevens down. Guerin dropped it off. Chris Therien was there and cleared it out. Picked up by Lindros. Ahead for Antosky. Stevens there. Shot wide on Terreri. Lemieux at the far end picks it up. Devils and Flyers changing it up here. Billy Guerin. Guerin tried to move it in, and that's an offside call. Guerin was already in the zone as Broughton moved in.
Scott Stevens continues to try to throw the body around, and he's having some success. He nailed Sean Antoski a moment ago. Then he ended up with his main assignment. He's got a full-time job on Eric Lindros. When he gets a chance to whack somebody else, he will, but he tries to stay very close to Lindros.
What a personal battle those two have waged ever since he joined the league. But here in the playoffs, Stevens and Lindros, they have been soulmates.
Kind of.
Kind of. The Devils are on the verge of seeing their 2-0 lead in this series disappear. Only 58.8 seconds remaining in the third period, and the Philadelphia Flyers have the 4-2 lead. Dykehouse drops it back. Martin Brodeur, for the first time, struggling a bit in these last two games. He's gone one way. Hextall has gone the other.
I want to show you that confrontation between Eric Lindros and Scott Stevens again. I refer to Eric Lindros as a Terminator because he can terminate you in so many ways. Just watch Eric Lindros' helmet. Once he gets going closer to Scott Stevens, bang! I mean, Eric Lindros is the strongest player and the biggest, for his size, the strongest player in the NHL, and by any standards, the strongest player. It's the mean streak in him that makes him such a complete player. Yeah, offensively, yeah, he's got all, you know, he's strong and he's got a shot, but it's the meanness that you don't see in superstar players that sets Eric Lindros apart from many, many players.
Well, he took a shot at Stevens that time. Didn't hesitate, did he? He set him up.
Oh, yeah, but
threw him right in.
Believe me, there is a mean streak that runs a mile deep, and that's why he's a dangerous guy to play against and a hard guy to stop.
Yep. Long time being taken here on the face-off as Philadelphia wants to set it up defensively. Rod Brendamore on the draw against Broughton. Broughton tried to get a shot off himself. Swoboda falling down, dropped it away to Lindros. Lindros will flip it, gloved down by Niedermayer. Niedermayer sends it in. Chris Terrera's been pulled. Empty net at the other end. Peter Swoboda. Swoboda jammed it up. Lindros had it banged away from him by Niedermayer. Stays out on the ice. 27 seconds left to go. Brought back through the middle. McKay. Save. Hextall. Rebound. Hextall made a great save on Niedermayer. Niedermayer was celebrating a goal, but Hextall had made the save.
Boy, it was, the puck was alive, flipping all over the place. But it appears as if the force field is up in the Flyers' net. Ron Hextall, you know, you make your own breaks too. Anybody that's ever played a sport will tell you that that's the truth. And Ron Hextall, as his play has come along, he's had a couple hit him. I'm not taking anything away from his saves, but when you get hot, the puck's with you. Now, he made the save on that first one, but it got loose and was bouncing all over the place. Off his mask.
Hextall gave up 9 goals on 44 shots in the first 2 games. 9 on 44. In games 3 and 4, 4 goals on 67 shots. Ron Hextall has gotten it turned around in net, and Brodeur has gone just the other way. First 2 games, 3 goals, 43 shots. Last 2 games, 7 goals on 42 shots.
Well, we wondered about that crazy goal that Brind'Amour scored in Game 3. You figured the Flyers needed a weird bounce. You also figured that the way the first 2 games had gone, they needed something to shake Brodeur. They wanted an overtime. And boy, I'll tell you what, Flyers have just continued in this game the way they left off in Game 3. The momentum is now solidly with the Flyers in this series.
Empty net, Lindros, Niedermayer, Lindros. Behind the net. This game is history, and this series is even. The Devils got the first goal from Ralston, then Podine, Renberg, Brind'Amour, and Desjardins got the next 4 goals. Peluso added the final, but too little too late as the Flyers have beaten the Devils 4-2, even though the Devils outshot them 34-19, and somebody just gunned a puck. The Flyers player gunned the puck at the Devils, who were exiting the ice.
Goal in the 3rd period. Philadelphia
and hit John McLean in the back of the leg.
A game total of 19.
The officials move in to separate them. There will be penalties called here. Our final, the Flyers win it 4-2. John Meikenberry.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Now, at the beginning of the week, Philadelphia's dead. They've got no chance to win this series at all. Now, it's not only tied, but they're going home.
They look so poised, so collected. Everybody's doing their jobs. They've got a guy like Antosky who's playing key minutes. This guy couldn't play earlier in the year. Everything has gone right. The breaks have gone their way, and it looks very much like Philly can get it together here. Terry Murray has to settle these guys down, though. Walk into the locker room, boys, enjoy it for a couple hours, but we got to go get that one tomorrow afternoon.
And if I'm Jacques Lemaire, I got to do the exact opposite. It seems like our good luck charm or our good luck angel left us that last one. Open net hits Hextall in the mask. Wide open net doesn't go in. I've got to find a way to get our guys believing in themselves again and play a more composed style. This was way too wide open for my team tonight.
It's an overused expression, but the wheels have come flying off of the New Jersey Devils. They've got to try and get them back on as they go to Philadelphia for Game 5.